It gives you confidence to be able to go out there and talk reliability, integrity, value, all the things that matter when you hire someone to get the job done right the first time. These words mean everything to us, and we know they mean a lot to you. And that's what you'll get when you hire the man in the red van.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
Now's when the summer heat is working your AC system into overtime. And after this long, it may be on borrowed time. But some of these systems really can last, especially Armstrong Air Pro Series systems. When your AC system says its final goodbye, think of the man in the red van and the over 60 years of experience that Quality Heating brings to your home. To get your new Armstrong Air Pro Series AC system installed right and right away.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
Goldie Schmidt is going to find that these pitches won't be too high, not too low, but just right.
Goldschmidt swings and misses. A curveball struck him out.
The Brew Crew pay another visit to the Cardinals with coverage starting tonight at 6:10. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, September 19th, our top story. What to do with the American Family Field parking lots.
I'm Eric Bilstead. The auto worker strike enters day 5.
I'm Brandon Snide. The Brewers' bats go silent as history is made in St. Louis.
On the roads, everything's pretty much clear. No incidents up on the board either, so all is well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Mostly cloudy today in your Storm Team forecast with a chance of showers, high of 70 degrees. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy, slight chance of showers continues, and a low down to 60. Right now, we're at 62 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, as work begins in Madison on ironing out details of the legislature's newest American Family Field funding proposal, conversation locally surrounding the idea of raising revenue with development around the stadium. WTMJ's Adam Roberts live in the Breaking News Center.
Vince, Brewers President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger was asked about activating the space around American Family Field on Wisconsin's Afternoon News Monday, and his response indicated that while it's not off the table, it's certainly not in the team's immediate plans.
It is interesting to speculate what possibly could be developed. It's not imminent, and it's not our focus now. And the reality is there are so many conditions and prerequisites before ballpark development of that nature could happen.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson has said the team should follow the example of Deer District when it comes to activating space. The ballpark currently has 16 parking lots with more than 12,000 individual stalls. Live from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts.
As abortion services resume in Milwaukee and in Madison, pro-choice advocates celebrating outside Milwaukee County Courthouse Monday night.
With abortion access resuming in Wisconsin, Blake Jones of Reproductive Justice Action Milwaukee explains why they fight.
People misunderstand how important this is for healthcare. Once you realize that abortion is healthcare, it's not a hard concept to understand.
Carly Klein says they are just getting started.
So this is a huge victory. However, it is just a small step that needs to be taken in a larger battle of repealing Wisconsin State Statute 940.04.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Governor Tony Evers announced Monday attorney Jorge Fregasso will be appointed to the Milwaukee County Circuit Court, Branch 23. That appointment fills a vacancy created by Judge Lindsey Grady's leaving the bench in November. Fregasso will complete a term ending July 31st of next year. He's right now an associate at law firm Gimbel, Riley, Guerin, and Brown, has been remarked as, quote, empathetic with people who are facing criminal charges. Racine County Clerk's Office already looking ahead to next year's elections.
So our next election is in February, so we have a little bit of time. Certainly, we've been trying to spread the word everywhere we can.
Racine City Clerk Tara McMenamin tells WTMJ that may be the next election, but it's not the big one. That is in November.
We anticipate people from both sides of the aisle and all those in between to be coming out to the polls. You can save yourself time by making sure your registration is up to date.
You can check your voter registration status by going to myvote.wi.gov. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Car makers and the United Auto Workers are talking, but no signs of a breakthrough. The union says it's ready to ramp up walkouts as the strike enters day 5. CBS correspondent Jennifer Kuiper.
More negotiations between the United Auto Workers Union and the Big Three as workers picket at 3 Midwest plants. However, UAW President Shawn Fain, in an online video, has announced that the union has set a Friday deadline for the companies to make significant headway on talks, or strikes will begin at even more facilities.
We're going to keep hitting the company where we need to, when we need to.
According to the Alliance for Automotive Innovation, auto jobs in Wisconsin bring in nearly $8 billion in income and $1 billion in state tax revenue.
5 Americans previously detained by Iran are now back in the United States. CBS News correspondent Cammie McCormick.
They arrived in the pre-dawn hours at a military base in Virginia on a flight from Qatar after a dramatic and complex deal between the U.S. and Iran. It involved the transfer of billions of dollars in Iranian assets and the release of some Iranians here in this country. At least 3 of the Americans had been charged with spying and sentenced to years in prison in Iran.
Those 5 just exiting the plane early this morning. Coming up, an update on the missing fighter jet. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:05.
Doesn't it seem like you never have anything to wear? That's why I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Whether it's a designer top, jeans, an adorable skirt, or cute accessories, I always seem to find something I like. And at prices I love. Gently used women's clothing and accessories for far less than you thought possible. At St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Looking to do something new with your savings? Get old with a money market account from Old National Bank and earn a 5.15% annual percentage yield. Whatever you're saving for, Old National is here to put your money to work today. Earn 5.15% APY with our 9-month introductory money market offer valid through September 30th, 2023. To earn the promotional rate, account must be funded with a minimum of $10,000 out on deposit at Old National as of July 31st, 2023 within 15 days of account opening. Learn more at oldnational.com or visit a local banking center today. Member FDIC. Old National Bank. Get old.
You're just going to have to live with it. That's what I told myself. And if you can believe it, that's what the doctors told me.
Since Andy was a boy, he had health issues, which later we would find were primarily due to his trouble breathing. So for 36 years, Andy lived with about 85% blockage in his nose. He had to breathe through his mouth, because when he tried to breathe through his nose, it felt like he was being suffocated. It affected his sleep, his work life, and his ability to play sports. And he wasn't going to let it ruin his life anymore. So he came to Advent. As bad as it was, his problem required a simple solution. In-office balloon sinuplasty and turbinate reduction. Procedures you won't find offered by big box healthcare. This is Dr. Madan Kandula. It's definitely possible that your nasal breathing problems have a simple solution too. You can hear Andy's story in his own words at adventknowsandy.com and begin on your path to breathing well and living better.
Results may vary.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. Accuracy matters, so make Exergen the chosen thermometer for your home and family.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
Brewers blanked by the Cards. We'll check that magic number coming up in sports at 6:15.
Currently, you can be ticketed for riding a skateboard on the sidewalk because they're categorized as play vehicles. Well, a bill in the Wisconsin Assembly aims to change that by removing skateboards from that category. Braylon Diggs tells TMJ4 News he's ridden skateboards his whole life, looks forward to the law ever changing.
There's always things to improve on. I like the endless amount of tricks that you can do. I don't understand why it would be illegal, especially nowadays with skateboarding getting bigger.
What I don't have are the notes on how many people are actually getting ticketed for using a skateboard. The bill, written by State Senator Chris Larson of South Milwaukee, again, just now starting to circulate.
Yeah, that'd be a tough draw, right? Come on, man. Sir, I'm going to have to write you up.
It was a pretty sweet ollie, sir.
A pilot safely ejected out of an F-35 fighter jet after malfunction over South Carolina Sunday. Pilot located soon thereafter, but the multi-million-dollar fighter remained missing in action. Now it appears the crash site may have been found. ABC's Justin Finch.
That jet among the most sophisticated on Earth, with a $100 million plus price tag, was undetected for more than 24 hours. Officials say that F-35 vanished Sunday afternoon. The pilot safely ejecting near Joint Base Charleston after reports of an undisclosed mishap in the cockpit. Investigators converging at a debris site with burn areas and downed trees that is presumed connected to the crash of that missing F-35 fighter jet.
Yeah, we were wondering at one point whether or not, because there was a lake nearby there, and they were wondering if perhaps it had gone into the lake and sunk before someone found it. So luckily they did. We were laughing about this yesterday because of Jim Ryan's rep from ABC. Here's how Jim started his story.
If you happen to find a state-of-the-art F-35B Lightning II,
then please call the police.
Call authorities? Yeah, it's good advice. 6:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Losing sleep lately? The job, the house, the headlines, or investments? How about the feeling your investment partner isn't a partner at all? They might be operating in someone's best interest, but that someone isn't you. It's time for Annex Wealth Management. It's easy. Head to annexwealth.com, click the Get Started button. We work in your best interest as a fiduciary. That commitment runs so deep, we put it in writing. Does your advisor do that? Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Start at annexwealth.com.
Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Following my water skiing injury earlier this summer, and one date in particular really targeted. Mark Cass and I from the Business Journal joined a pickleball tournament.
Ah, that's right.
It was this past weekend. Probably couldn't have done it without OAW.
So you withstood, you lasted?
Made it, well, and actually had the courage to join given my diagnosis that there was no structural damage to the hamstring or anything around that. When I visited Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, my doctor worked me around, just said, I don't see anything structural here. I think you can get back in action. Here's how you do it slowly. Also prescribed an anti-inflammatory for the shoulder, which has given me problems. At this point, OAW is holding me together with duct tape and chewing gum. But I was out there, back in the game, thanks to my docs at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Don't wait, don't delay. If something's bothering you, give them a visit. They'll give you an honest read on what's happening and a pathway to get you back in action. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Trees on the Move. From planning to planting, it's Trees on the Move. We all look forward to outdoor living in Wisconsin. From planning to planting and everything in between, now is the perfect time to let Trees on the Move beautify your landscape.
Checking in with Debbie Lazica here at 6:10. Morning, Deb.
Good morning. Everything's looking great so far. No major delays. We've got full freeway speeds across the area. Building volume a little bit here and there, but nothing major and no incidents either, so everything's great. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A chance of showers this morning through midday. Mostly cloudy skies and a high temperature of 70 degrees. Any rain should be pretty light and scattered. Now for tonight, mostly cloudy and breezy. Slight chance of showers, a low 60. Wednesday, staying unsettled. Partly cloudy and warmer. Slight chance of storms in the afternoon, a high of 80. Thursday, partly cloudy and warm. Slight chance of storms, a high of 80. Friday, partly cloudy and warm. More of the same. Slight chance of storms, a high of 81. And Saturday, partly cloudy, warm and humid. 78 lakeside, 84 degrees inland. I'm Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
With some of those showers approaching, Milwaukee at 62 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
At 6:12 on this Tuesday morning, back to normal. The mashup of the WTMJ players is over.
Finally.
Everybody was out of place yesterday.
Crazy 24 hours.
So we had a number of scheduling things go on yesterday that caused us to be in different places. Myself hosting Wisconsin's afternoon news.
How'd that go?
Far as I know, fine. The program was on the air.
He did fine. He was just fine.
Debbie was just doing her thing. She was the only one who stayed put. She did the morning, she did the afternoon. That's just how it works. Caused me to... I've got this song stuck in my head now. Do you remember the show Animaniacs?
Sure.
It's like a Warner Brothers production.
Yeah.
It's time for Animaniacs, and we're saying it to the max.
Great theme song.
So just sit back and relax.
Just give it a moment.
We're Animaniacs.
So I used to watch that when I was a kid, and they had this one episode where all the characters were put into different shows.
Okay.
So like Pinky and the Brain, they were in there with Mindy where they didn't belong, and all these other guys. So it was a mashup of characters.
It's a brilliant idea.
I was thinking about that all day yesterday. because you were out at 8:30.
Right.
Did your golf outing, fundraiser for JDRF.
Oh,
How
it
did
was
it go?
fantastic. Fantastic. Met a lot of people and raised a lot of money for JDRF, so it was great.
So then I came in, did half hour of Wisconsin's morning news, and then started prepping for Wisconsin's afternoon news. Sandy Max was in the house, but Scafidi out.
I think he's back today.
Wagner out. Mercure out. Matzik out. Vitrano in. Spalding in.
I can't believe but you worked like a full day then. You were rolling in here.
Totally fine.
And then worked all the way past 6 p.m. Well done.
Said everybody had important stuff to do, and I mentioned this in the show yesterday, not to be corny, but I think people support each other really nicely around here. And
agreed.
Glad that you were able to get out and do the good work that you did. Matzik was out there with you.
Yep.
So glad to help support that, and everything back to normal this morning on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Russ bought his first home in Wisconsin with a mortgage from Accunet when today's college freshmen were still in diapers. A few Friday mornings ago, Russ emailed saying he and his wife were ready to buy their forever home. And by 4 o'clock, we were all on a conference call with a real estate agent talking about what it would take to write a winning offer in today's inventory-starved market. And then it happened. They met their dream home face-to-face Saturday afternoon and wrote an offer $15,000 over asking, accompanied by an Accunet property-specific pre-approval letter that guaranteed they could make good on that offer without selling their existing home first and without requiring an appraisal. That's right, no appraisal required, which both the listing agent and seller loved. I can't promise your very first offer will be accepted like Russ and Julie's, but I will promise Accunet can help you and your agent craft the most attractive offer possible. Hey, don't settle for a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval. Get started with your rock-solid, guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button today at accunet.com.
At Semper Fi, we work hard not to tarnish our reputation, and that's what will make your decision to work with us one you won't regret. You can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
Keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Brew October on WTMJ is presented by Network Health, Delta Dental, and Annex Wealth Management. Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Adam Wainwright tossed 7 innings, allowed just 4 hits in a vintage performance as the St. Louis Cardinals beat the Milwaukee Brewers 1-0 in Game 1 of 4 on Monday night. Wainwright with the victory for the Cards secured his 200th career win. The Brewers offense just could not get anything going against the 42-year-old as manager Craig Counsell spoke after the game, calling for more pressure from his offense.
We had a shot in the 8th when we got the leadoff guy on as well with Monasterio. We have to have more pressure than just getting the leadoff guy on.
Milwaukee will look to regain their form with Game 2 of 4 tonight in St. Louis. Coverage set to begin right here on WTMJ beginning at 6:10. The Cubs did not play. The Brewers did lose, obviously, but their magic number to clinch the National League Central will remain at 7. The Green Bay Packers are back to work this week following their tough defeat in Atlanta in Week 2. Despite the loss to the Falcons, Jordan Love, though, continued to shine for the Packers, tossing 3 more touchdown passes. Love currently leading the league in those touchdown passes category as well as passer rating. ESPN's Rob Demoski joined 94.5 ESPN's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Monday morning, handing out his grade for the first-year starter under center.
I'd say a solid B, B+. Gabe, what's the biggest mistake that new quarterbacks make? Turnovers, right?
Yes, sure.
And he hasn't had any. 6 touchdowns, no turnovers.
Jordan Love, the good news for the Pack. The bad news, though, more injuries for a team already battling the early season injury bug as Pro Bowl left guard Elton Jenkins reportedly suffered an MCL sprain in his left knee during that loss on Sunday. Head coach Matt LaFleur on options moving forward.
It's a conversation that we're going to have tonight and kind of figure out who we want to roll out there, but it's always a competitive situation. I don't care what position it is. We're going to make it competitive, and if guys aren't performing, then we'll roll with somebody else.
The Packers will play host to the undefeated New Orleans Saints this Sunday as Jordan Love will officially make his Lambeau Field debut.
Coming up, how far away from a done deal is the American Family Field funding proposal? We'll dive into that next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
A Brewers game and a Vienna beef hot dog. Ah, the perfect recipe.
Wow.
This is really good.
The only thing to make it better? Winning tickets to the Brewers game with Ticket Tuesdays on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Every Tuesday at 3:35, it's Ticket Tuesdays, presented by Vienna Beef, the official hot dog of the Brewers. Better than all the rest.
The Brewers pennant race is heating up. Make sure you have a spot when October comes around. Get first dibs at postseason tickets with your 2024 season ticket plan. Not only will you get first access to Brewers postseason tickets, but season seat holders only enjoy exclusive benefits, the best seats, big savings on tickets, exclusive rewards, and more. Place a deposit now to be a part of the postseason and beyond at brewers.com/season tickets.
Brighten up your Monday or your Tuesday with a free dinner at the Fox and Hounds. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Fox and Hounds. Recently voted the best supper club in the area. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free. Order your favorite steak, the pecan-crusted salmon, seafood, pasta, big fresh salad, even steak and lobster. Get one free. Buy one, get one free. Desserts are also buy one, get one free. 100 wines, 20 bourbons, a Manhattan or old-fashioned with a great beer selection will accent your dinner. The Fox and Hounds, tucked right into the Kettle Moraine Forest. There's nothing else like it. Have a drink in the beer garden in the woods. I love the beer garden. It's beautiful. It's relaxing. The scenery is spectacular. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the beautiful Holy Hill Shrine. As the seasons begin to change, the drive alone is gorgeous. A must-see for Southeast Wisconsin. Check it out. Enjoy a quiet, free dinner tonight at the Fox and Hounds. Tables still open. Come on in. No reservations required. One of my favorite places and recently voted the best supper club in the area. It's the Fox and Hounds. Reservations available at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Help fellow commuters. See an accident? Call the WTMJ Hall Mazda Traffic Tip Line, 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Mazda to support their Drive Out Cancer event.
6:20 on Wisconsin's Morning News. What's happening on the roads, Deb?
Well, the worst thing that we've got going on right now is on southbound 43 on the ramp to 794 eastbound in the Marquette. We've got a broken down vehicle, but it is out of traffic on the right shoulder. So at this point, not too bad. Everything is moving along fine as far as travel times are concerned. Even volume is relatively light. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly cloudy in your Storm Team forecast. We do have some showers starting to appear on the radar. Should become a problem later this morning. Well, problem is a relative term, but it'll be raining at some point, likely where you live. High of 70 degrees today, mostly cloudy, breezy with a slight chance of showers tonight, low down to 60. For your Wednesday, partly cloudy, warm, slight chance of thunderstorms and a high of 80. Thursday, partly cloudy, warm, slight chance of thunderstorms, also 80 degrees for the high. And for your Friday, high of 81 degrees under partly cloudy skies, again, a slight chance of storms. Right now, 62 in Milwaukee. At 6:21, Wisconsin's Morning News this Tuesday morning, long way from a done deal. But at least this morning there was a framework, a path to keeping the Brewers in Milwaukee for more than a quarter century and ensuring American Family Field remains a viable community asset.
You could argue there had been a framework already.
Yes. There was one framework.
Right, now there's two.
Now this is the preferred framework, at least for legislative leaders. Legislation unveiled Monday by lawmakers. A package of funding, $700 million all in over the next 27 years, including contributions from Milwaukee City and county taxpayers, state taxpayers, and $100 million from the Brewers organization. I spoke with Brewers President of Business Operations, Rick Schlesinger, after the news Monday afternoon. So Rick said the team recognizes there's a lot of debate to be had, as we all should. The bill, I'm told, will start in the Assembly. We'll, of course, need approval from the Assembly. We'll move over to the Senate. Senate may make changes from there. We'll go back to the Assembly. But essentially, both houses of the legislature need to approve the same bill. Then it needs a signature from the governor and buy-in from city and county. Team is focused on the end result, not who gets credit, nor the particulars of one plan over another.
I am not wedded to a specific bill or a specific piece of legislation. I'm focused on the objective, and there are many different pathways to get there. And the good news, again, is that it looks like there's bipartisan support for the objective, which is the most important thing in this process.
How widespread that support is, we will learn in the coming days and weeks. But basically, this is something that at least through the Brewers lens, look, you got people on both sides of the alley who recognize we need to get to the finish line, whatever that is. Taxpayers, rightly skeptical. This is a lot of money. I mean, Governor Evers' plan was, just shy of $300 million, and basically writing a check. That was to keep the Brewers here till 2043. So you expect this plan to have scrutiny? It should. Is the Brewers ownership group, Mark Attanasio and others, are they doing enough on their end? I put that question directly to Schlesinger. Why should taxpayers and those who are concerned about it believe that that contribution from the Brewers is fair?
Because it is a significant amount of money, and all we're asking of the state is for it to fulfill its obligations made to us and the taxpayers in 1996 when the ballpark funding was approved, that our landlord has sufficient funds to meet its existing obligations to the team. We're not asking for the district to enhance their obligations. We're not looking for the team to reduce our obligations. In fact, to the contrary, we're increasing our financial contribution to the project. All we're asking for is that the landlord have enough money to meet obligations that promised us a quarter century ago.
Again, how is it $300 million and now it's $700 million? We extend that thing out 7 more years. Stadium doesn't get younger. So the anticipation is this is the all-in number that will be needed to sustain the ballpark over the next 27 years. I thought one new piece to the current proposal that was interesting, the idea that American Family Field can become a year-round venue. This is another reason that price tag is higher under this plan. A significant upgrade in investment. Schlesinger said it will pay dividends.
The winterization obviously could be significant. It's, this is a great facility, but in the off season, it's dormant. Winterization would allow us to have events here in the winter in a comfortable, warm environment. And that could be anything from basketball games to volleyball to concerts to, monster truck shows to an NHL game to Brewers Fan Fest to, a whole range of opportunities that even we haven't thought about, but drive revenue to the Brewers, drive revenue to the state, bring in people from outside the state, outside the region to come here and spend money.
So
Final Four. Bring the Final Four.
Well, if it's airtight and they can heat it up to 70 degrees, that's been a barrier. You can't have the Final Four if they, typically they can heat it up 20 degrees warmer than it is outside, which is fine in spring when it's 50. You get it up to 60 or 70. But this would, seal that up and allow them to heat it to
venue's a bit too
levels.
small, I think, for Final Four. But anyway, go ahead.
So we know local leaders have been reluctant at best to pledge taxpayer support for the facility. The mayor's office tells me they're not sure at this point if their contribution would be subject to approval from the Common Council. That adds a whole other degree. You'd have to think same for the county. Would the whole county board need to sign off? And that becomes problematic. Those things are hardly slam dunks. But at this point, the plan is at least up for debate in the coming weeks. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed Monday at 34,624. That was up just about 6 points. Not a lot of movement on the NASDAQ. That was up just shy of 2 points to 13,710. And the S&P 500 at 4454. That was up 3 points on the day. It's time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button now.
Jason Rose is the president CEO of AccuRite Tax and Financial Services. They have document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
I think it's very accurate to call it a partnership because it's more of a relationship that you build up over time.
And your practice has had document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems for years.
Yep, they know what you need, they know how to help, they're able to provide suggestions on future improvements or changes.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company. Here for you today, helping you plan for the future.
It's a great deal. James Imaging is the real deal.
And Jason, the bottom line for your practice?
Keep us up and running, especially during tax season.
Keep your business up and running with document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Hey, it's 620 WTMJ's Brian Z. Football, family, back to school. Can you believe it? Fall is already upon us. You're going to be out and about this fall season. Apple picking, tailgating. Make sure you have your best smile on display. Go see my guy, Dr. James Michaels at Oconomowoc Dental Care. Whether it's a simple cleaning and exam, a more complex dental procedure, a teeth whitening and implants, Dr. Michaels and the staff at Oconomowoc Dental Care are going to take great care of you and make you as comfortable as possible while you're in the chair. How do I know? He's my dentist. He's going to take the same great care of you as he does to me. And don't stress over cash. The friendly and caring team at Oconomowoc Dental Care can help you out with a no-interest payment plan. Get those pearly whites looking right as summer turns to fall. We all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off 1 second longer. Call his friendly and caring team today and set up an appointment. Dr. James Michaels at Oconomowoc Dental Care.
The famous Fox and Hounds and Mineshaft restaurants are hiring servers, bartenders, bussers, food runners, and barbacks. It's a great part-time job for high school and college students and retirees. Make real money. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today. Start next week.
Wisconsin's Morning News National Anthem is powered by Weninger Compressor. American patriotism made in Wisconsin. This is the Arrowhead Sophomore Choir.
.30, I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Tuesday, September 19th. Your top story, gearing up for the next stage of talks over AmFam funding.
I'm Debbie Lozga. Everything's looking great. No delays and no incidents. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
They've landed in the United States. That's the sound of those 5 Americans landing in the U.S. after having been freed from an Iranian prison. The deal includes a prisoner swap as well as the unfreezing of $6 billion in oil revenues. That is supposed to be used for humanitarian purposes only. National Security spokesman John Kirby on the condition of the hostages.
The initial reports we have are relatively good health, but we want to make sure that they get all the care that they need, and they'll have access to that care for as long as they need it.
Jailed Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gerskovich is in a Moscow courtroom right now appealing his arrest. India has expelled a senior Canadian diplomat and accused Canada of interfering in international affairs. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau accusing India of being connected to the assassination of a Sikh activist in Canada. Federal Reserve begins its 2-day meeting today. When it's over, the Fed could raise interest rates again. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Signing unlimited WTMJ news time, 6:31. Have a few showers closely moving towards our Jefferson County listeners this morning. Going to be cloudy for most of the area. Possible showers throughout the day. A high around 66. It's currently 60 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, as work begins in Madison, ironing out details of the legislature's newest American Family Field funding proposal, conversation locally has surrounded the idea of raising revenue with development around the stadium. We asked Brewers President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger his thoughts on this on Wisconsin's Afternoon News Monday, and his response indicated that while it's not off the table entirely, it's certainly not in the team's immediate plans.
It is interesting to speculate what possibly could be developed. It's not imminent, and it's not our focus now. And the reality is there are so many conditions and prerequisites before ballpark development of that nature could happen.
Schlesinger also telling local media he's very protective of the team's tailgating culture. American Family Field currently has 16 parking lots with around 12,000 individual stalls. As abortion services resume in Milwaukee and Madison this week, pro-choice advocates were celebrating last night outside the Milwaukee County Courthouse.
With abortion access resuming in Wisconsin, Blake Jones of Reproductive Justice Action Milwaukee explains why they fight.
People misunderstand how important this is for healthcare. Once you realize that abortion is healthcare, it's not a hard concept to understand.
Carly Klein says they are just getting started.
So this is a huge victory. However, it is just a small step that needs to be taken in a larger battle of repealing Wisconsin State Statute 940.04.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, speaking of the larger battle, Right to Life Legislative Director Gracie Skogman says the 1849 law the state has been using as the basis for an abortion ban remains the law, and tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News they're preparing for a legal fight.
We are looking at all of our options, whether that be through the court system. Again, this is something that we might have to tackle legislatively. At this point, we're waiting to see and expect that it will end up before the state Supreme Court.
Protesters on both sides of the aisle making their voices heard outside the Milwaukee Water Street facility on Monday. And Governor Tony Evers announcing attorney Jorge Fragoso will be appointed to the Milwaukee County Circuit Court. The appointment will fill the vacancy created by Judge Lindsay Grady's leaving the bench in November. Fragoso will complete a term ending July 31st of next year. He's currently an associate at the law firm Gimbel, Riley, Guerin, and Brown. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 6:34.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
$3.99 gets you a bundle this week at Sendik's. Chicken breast, ground chuck, pork tenderloin, and homemade brats, all for just $3.99 a pound at Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Coming up, a paywall plan you may not like.
This report is sponsored by Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart.
In the past 70 years, there's something that has never changed. The kitchen. Oh, it may look a little different as the decades have passed, but it's always been where family gathers for meals, memories, and more. Wisconsin Kitchen Mart has always understood that and remains dedicated to making that important space special.
With an expansive 18,000 square foot showroom filled with full-size displays featuring Play-Doh custom cabinetry, award-winning designers, plus their own in-house installation department, let Wisconsin Kitchen Mart transform your kitchen into a true gathering place.
I'm Robert Iskey, Vice President and Designer from Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. We've been remodeling kitchens and baths since 1951 and can help establish a vision for your remodel. We bring the carpenters, plumbers, electricians, and everyone else needed to make your dream kitchen a reality.
Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart on the corner of West Wisconsin Avenue and 36th Street in Milwaukee. Online at wisconsinkitchenmart.com.
It's David Nason from WTMJ's The Fix-It Show, here with Chris Mancuso, owner of Accurate Basement Repair. Hi, Chris.
Hey, David. Courage, honor, and integrity. That is what I brought over to Accurate Basement Repair Team following my 25 years of proud service as a Milwaukee firefighter. This is the same foundation that Accurate is built on.
As a home inspector, I trust Accurate Basement Repair for all your basement and waterproofing needs. They're not just good, they're accurate. Learn more at AccurateBasementRepair.com.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. The Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's is coming up, and we're getting ready. This is a great way to get involved in the community and support the 120,000 Wisconsinites living with Alzheimer's and other dementia, and the 191,000 caregivers. Learn more about the event and register your team at alz.org/walk. Join us at the Racine and Kenosha Walk to End Alzheimer's on September 23rd.
Starting Unlimited WTMJ News Time 6:36, the Packers will have to mix and match to protect Jordan Love. Brandon Snide has sports coming up at 6:45.
Can you hear me?
What's happening? No. Do you want to use my microphone? Just to bring you into the studio here, if you're watching on the live stream, you see Eric hurriedly moving to another microphone. Yeah, but then your computer's not there.
All right, you got me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, but how can you do any of your things?
No, we can make it work.
The show goes on, or should we cancel it?
No, the show goes on. We have an X Watch. Okay, so X, of course, is the new name for Twitter, and Elon Musk is the owner of X. And yesterday, he told Benjamin Netanyahu that, yeah, you know what? The only way to get rid of bots that could potentially spread hate speech or anti-Semitism on the social media site is to charge everybody So Elon Musk now saying that a paywall is likely for everyone who uses X.
What kind of any terms discussed?
No,
like it's going to be $1 a month. It's going to be $10 a month. It's going to be.
He would argue it's a little.
Yeah.
In fact, he once posted a picture of how much people pay for coffee versus how much Twitter or X would cost in a day.
Fair enough.
And it was like a quarter or something like that. So that's what he'll argue, that it's minimal, but that he says they'll have to do it. This has revenue, by the way, plunging on the site for them. So could this happen immediately? You know how this works. He says something and the ground shakes and then it kind of all plays out. But as of now, told the Israeli Prime Minister yesterday that, yep, paywall likely for X.
Fascinating conversation, because the other thing that does is it changes the dynamic of who is the customer. I've always said, if you're using something for free, whether it's social media or whatever, if you're getting it for free, you're not the customer.
Correct.
The advertiser is the customer, or the investors are sort of the quote-unquote customer, or the powers to which decisions tend to fall. If now I'm paying for this, now I should have a stronger voice.
This is true. I also wonder, you'd be amazed at how many bots are probably corresponding either with us or with each other.
No, she's real. Wait, what? She really likes the show. 6:39 in Wisconsin's Morning News.
Major phone carriers make you sign contracts with rigid data plans to trap you into a kind of forced phonogamy. Sounds pretty insecure if you ask me. At Consumer Cellular, we believe in a more consensual and healthy form of phonogamy, free of contracts and more flexible to your data needs. This way, you stick around not because we force you to with contracts and fees, but because you love our phone plans. Like ardently love our phone plans. Phonogamously. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Folks that I trusted to put a brand new patio door in my favorite room in the house, the family room. Used it to great success again yesterday. Had a handful of stuff I needed to take outside. Didn't even have to call for help because my old patio door I literally could not open with one hand. It took like two hands to rip open the old door and whatever else. And it also opened inside. This is a beautiful sliding door and the screen operates. In fact, it's rolled away when I don't need it. So just couple of fingers right on the door, rolls back beautifully. Total joy. Like you have something that doesn't work forever, and now you get a new thing, and you're like, I'm so happy.
I get it. I understand that. I appreciate how much that makes you happy.
So love it. Love how it looks inside and out. If you want to get in on the action, these are quality products, but Pella can make it affordable for you. Right now, you can pay as low as $19 a month if you want a new window or windows installed, $75 a month on new patio doors like what I have. Look at all the different options you can get on the patio door, the roll-away screen. If you want built-in blinds, that's something you can talk about as well. And, of course, you get the expert professional consultation and install with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. As low as $19 a window, $75 a month on patio doors. Do it before the snow flies. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Traffic is sponsored by Trees on the Move. From planning to planting, it's Trees on the Move. We all look forward to outdoor living in Wisconsin. From planning to planting and everything in between, now is the perfect time to let Trees on the Move beautify your landscape.
Let's get an update on the roads. Debbie Lozica here at 641.
All right, everything's looking great so far, Vince. Really not seeing too many problems. Just starting to get a bit heavier on 43 southbound from Capitol Drive down to, I would say, Keefe. It's not really that far of a delay, but quick tap of the brakes. More than anything else, we're looking at a smooth ride. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The
WTMJ 5-day forecast. There's a chance of light showers this morning, little better chance around midday today. Mostly cloudy skies and a high of 70 degrees. For tonight, mostly cloudy and breezy. Slight chance of showers, a low of 60. We're going to be unsettled all week. Partly cloudy on Wednesday, warm. Slight chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon, a high of 80. More the same Thursday. Partly cloudy and warm, slight chance of storms, 80. Friday, a repeat. Partly cloudy and warm, slight chance of storms, a high of 81. And Saturday, partly cloudy, warm and humid, 78 lakeside, 84 degrees inland. I'm Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temperature at 64 degrees. 6:43, Wisconsin's Morning News this Tuesday morning. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson set to deliver his 2024 budget address at City Hall later today. Not typically a very sexy affair, Eric. I've attended a few of these in my past.
When's the best part? At the beginning or the end?
It should be. I won't say who it was, but I once spoke with a mayor, and we were talking about the construction of the budget address. And I was telling him, like, look, you need to get some of the TV cameras. Maybe they'll be there, maybe they won't. But you got to hit it hard early. You got to hit it hard at the end, because depending on how that tape comes back into the newsroom, somebody's going to listen to either the last minute or two or the first minute or two to find that soundbite. And that soundbite will play all day, because ain't nobody listening to the whole thing.
Right.
Even the Common Council. Who knows? But today, it does lay out the mayor's priorities for the coming year, and for the first time will include revenue from the newly approved 2% sales tax for the city. So we'll be looking for how that money is earmarked for public safety. A source in the mayor's office tells me the coming budget will include that, as well as a focus on infrastructure and quality of life investments. On that, the source also indicates there will be a new proposal to increase efforts to demolish buildings with raise orders on them. So the mayor, he wants to prevent these homes from deteriorating, and in the event they do, he wants to prioritize demolition and redevelopment. So look for that in the speech today.
Think AmFam Field pops up at all?
You know, I think it came out too late. I couldn't get an exact read on that. I did get from this source in the mayor's office that they were still unsure whether or not that would need Common Council approval.
Right.
Like they're still looking at everything that's been laid out. So whether or not it makes an appearance in today's speech, yeah, that's another thing to watch. Also, I'm told Mayor will call for an increase in high-impact paving projects. That's where they come in and resurface banged-up streets really quickly. Couple of days as opposed to weeks or months. So there's not a ton of advanced engineering, but these are streets that are badly potholed or whatever. They rip that top layer off, they put the new pavement on, and they're in and out in a matter of days. More money as well for separated bikeways and measures to curb reckless driving. 9 a.m. this morning, Common Council chambers at Milwaukee City Hall.
Hi, it's Rose Gray from Fox World Travel, inviting you on an unforgettable 2024 adventure. Explore Alaska, Europe, Hawaii, Japan, Egypt, Vietnam, and South Africa by land or river, exclusively with Fox World Travel. Our award-winning experts crafted extraordinary itineraries with Insight Vacations, Globus, Avalon Waterways, Uniworld, and Holland America. Follow your wanderlust. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO to start your journey. Let's explore the world together.
Thrifters can spot great deals from a mile away. And here the term great deal is an understatement. The lowest prices on men's, women's, and children's clothing, toys, furniture, housewares, jewelry, and accessories, bikes, books, games, and more. And every time you're here, you'll find something new. So if you're thrifty, you'll find this place is pretty nifty. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores, Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Ask your advisor, are you 100% fee only for 100% of your clients 100% of the time? If they answer no, get a second opinion.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
FinancialStrategiesInc.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Brewers dropped game 1 of 4 to the St. Louis Cardinals on Monday night. This one by a final of 1-0. With the loss and the Cubs idle, the Brewers' magic number to clinch the NL Central remains at 7. Brewers Cards game 2 tonight from St. Louis. Coverage getting underway beginning at 6:10 right here on WTMJ. Michigan State University informed head football coach Mel Tucker in a letter Monday of the school's intent to terminate his contract for cause, citing, quote, a body of undisclosed evidence of misconduct that warrants termination. And lastly, the Packers are prepping for Week 3 home opener against the undefeated New Orleans Saints this upcoming Sunday. Pro Bowl guard left Pro Bowl left guard Elton Jenkins will miss some time with what is being reported of an MCL sprain in his left knee that he suffered in that Week 2 loss. Jenkins will have an MRI this week to determine the severity of that injury.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports opinion commentary on Wisconsin's morning news. Here's Brendan Snide.
It wasn't that long ago that we were all wondering what the future in Green Bay might look like. The unknowns surrounding number 10 and a place referred to as Titletown was real, and it was, by far, the most significant question mark entering the 2023 season. Following the trade of Aaron Rodgers and before the season even started, folks everywhere wondered if number 10 could follow in the footprints left behind two of the game's best ever. After 2 weeks, I think it's time we put some of those worries or questions to rest. In just these 2 weeks, Jordan Love currently leads the NFL in touchdown passes and passer rating. Will he keep it up? Who knows? But quite frankly, at this point, who cares? This season is all about growth and growth only, especially with the NFL's youngest roster. Before September came, we all wondered if Love could be the future. You do not go into a season questioning the quarterback position and simultaneously hold Super Bowl aspirations. That is just not how it works. Yes, we all want to win. Yes, we all want to compete for the NFC North Division title. And yes, all of this is possible at the same time. But regardless of all of that, for me at least, the objective measure of a successful 2023 season will be which direction this future points to following the conclusion of it. Is number 10 the answer under center? Can these young pass catchers be enough going forward? Will Joe Barry even have a job in 2024? Just by witnessing 2 weeks of this season, some of you can probably guess how some of these are close to being answered already. The others, though, are likely closer than you think.
When severe weather strikes, you can count on WTMJ's Fleet Farm severe weather coverage to keep you safe and informed.
Tornado warnings in effect for Jefferson and Walworth counties.
I'm on Highway 11 now. For the last 5 minutes or so, it's been just an immense lightning storm.
If you're in Delavan, go to a place of shelter now.
Severe weather coverage on WTMJ. Sponsored by Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
Severe weather is hard. You know what's easy? Setting up a comfy area in your backyard. Hi all, Debbie Lazica here. And when I tell you it's easy, I mean it. I have a new super comfortable space in my backyard. How'd I do it? Well, I picked up the phone. Yep, that's it. The guys at Comfort Awnings in Burlington came out, took a look at my space, and set me up with a brand new retractable awning. The hardest part was picking up the fabric, and even that was super easy, with Ben walking me through the whole process. And when it came to the installation, another quick jingle from them, and we set up the date. They were done in just a couple of hours. And bingo, a calm, relaxing area of shade that brings the temperature down by quite a bit. That comfy area was used right away at our family get-together right around Labor Day, and everyone was super impressed. So you want some of that comfort for your yard? Of course you do, because right now at Comfort Awnings, they have a great deal, $250 off awnings and screens until the end of this month. Call 414-AWNINGS for a free estimate or visit comfortawnings.com.
Is joint pain, soreness, and achiness getting in the way of your best life? Football legend Emmitt Smith refuses to back down to pain. That's why he's a huge advocate for QC Kinetics and their natural approach to getting you relief.
Look, we get one trip around, so I wouldn't ever let pain stop me from hanging out with my race team, traveling with my family, or golfing with my friends.
Emmitt's got it right. And QC Kinetics uses regenerative medicine to relieve that never-ending pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. And the best news, there's nothing foreign being introduced into your body. Just your own body's natural healing properties. No surgery or no downtime.
If pain's holding you back, maybe it's tennis, pickleball, running, hiking, or spending time with special people in your life, what are you waiting for? This is precious time. Get out there and get over to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
8 minutes before 6 o'clock. Dry roads for now, Debbie. How do we look?
Well, a little bit slowing down, southbound 43. Pretty much typical stuff, though, from about Hampton Avenue down past Keefe. The northbound side, a little slow from North Avenue up to Keefe. Remember, we do have that broken down vehicle on the ramp from 43 southbound to 794 eastbound, but it's not in traffic, just kind of in a weird spot, so heads up with that. And northbound 41 starting to fill in just a little bit from Wisconsin Avenue up past Watertown Plank Road. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
I said dry roads for now. WTMJ 5-day forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Looks like we have some shower activity moving into Rock and Jefferson counties. Walworth County, Waukesha County will be next, and it's moving eastward. Mostly cloudy with a chance of showers today and a high of 70 degrees. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy. Slight chance of showers continuing and a low down to 60. Wednesday, partly cloudy, warm, slight chance of thunderstorms, high of 80. Slight chance of thunderstorms Thursday, Friday as well, both with temperatures in the low 80s for highs. And then Saturday, partly cloudy, warm and humid. High of 78 at the lake, 84 inland, 62 right now in Milwaukee. .653, Wisconsin's Morning News, Tuesday morning. Two-time Sports Writer of the Year, Lori Nickel, is with us on the Tri-County Contracting Hotline this morning.
It's all London, baby. Here we go. You got your passport? Yeah, my third drawer in my dresser. You don't want to lose that.
Lori, you shared with us the other week that you have an upcoming trip overseas only to discover you have a passport that expired earlier this year. You've been scrambling to find resolution. Do you have an update this morning?
Well, I'm supposed to leave next week, and I'm also supposed to get my passport renewed next week. I had to make a million calls and get everything prepped, but the only way they do it now, if you do make the mistake that I did, is you have to wait within 14 days of your flight to even try to get an appointment to get your passport renewed. The closest place for us here in Wisconsin is Chicago, so I'll be driving down there Monday at about 4:30 in the morning to be the first in line for my appointment. It's been a mess, truly. I've taken 3 different passport photos to make sure there's no mess up there, so it's a headache.
Smart.
It's fine.
Different amounts of headroom on each, or smiling, not smiling, what?
Yeah, that, and you can't have any hair in your face, so I bought a headband, and it's just like bangs are back and everything, and it's the worst. But I don't want anything to go wrong because this is my last shot, If I don't get that passport, I can't get on a flight. So it's a little nerve-wracking, but it's the way the system is now. If you don't have a current passport and you realize this, you have a 2-week window, and that's it. And I called that passport agency so many times. I had things memorized of what numbers to punch and what questions to ask to finally get my appointment. And I have a file folder now that's almost 2 inches thick of all the documents to show that I'm a real person to take down there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be crazy.
So passports are pretty unique little documents. They'll create it all right there for you?
Yeah, well, I'll have to pay for it literally, physically and also financially, which it's my mistake. I was told, to be prepared down there that it's a federal building and they're not, jovial about anything, like get your act together, don't ask for favors. I should prepare for like a 12-hour day down there. So I'm going to bring my computer and work. So
12 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, they said hopefully I'll get it Monday. If not, maybe Tuesday. So it might take 2 days, which then I'm really getting close to my flight. So it's fine. There's lorazepam for that, so it's fine.
But at least there's resolution. I like that, you have a path, you're willing to do the work. That's fine.
I called your people, Vince. They were so helpful at the travel agency. But when somebody says, hey, I've been in this business for 35 years, I've never heard of this before, that's not reassuring.
Oh, no, right? Things you don't want to hear from your doctor, from your mechanic, or your travel agent.
Right.
Never seen that before.
Fine. Thank you. So great.
Hey, while we got you, can I ask you quick about David Bakhtiari and this ongoing discussion over whether or not he may be demanding to sit out games on turf for the Green Bay Packers because he's worried about re-injury. He's taken a stand on turf, and et cetera. You're super into the player psychology. You've gotten to know a number of players in that way and in that space. So I'm curious, just across the board, professional athletes, how much say do they have in determining when and where they play? I mean, they are still employed by an organization. I could go to my bosses today and say, man, the early morning hours are really wearing on me. I need to do the afternoon show. And they can say, thanks, but we don't see that for you. And I can take it or leave it.
Yeah, so my read on that is all how Matt LaFleur addressed it over the weekend, and he was asked twice on Sunday after the game and 4 times on Monday. Very fair questions. And, LaFleur said, hey, there's an injury there. There's knee swelling, and he's not going to get into the, would Bakhtiari have played had the game been at home on the field in Lambeau or on the road? So he wasn't going to get into it. And to me, that was interesting. He was terse and kind of didn't want to get into the debate whatsoever. It's not like he forcefully shot it down either and said, no way, Bakhtiari's playing if he can play no matter where. He didn't get into all that. He's not that kind of person. He seems to view all that as a distraction. But what's one thing we know about Bakhtiari is he will tell us how he's feeling eventually, when he makes himself available to the public, or at least to the media in the locker room. He's told us how he's felt, certainly on his social media account on X. So but you can't, there's no way a NFL player can choose and pick which games they want to play. They're not a left tackle, not a quarterback. There's just no way. That doesn't work. So, I'm assuming based on LaFleur's answers that there really is an issue there that's flared up again with Bakhtiari. And as LaFleur said, it's probably going to be ongoing for the rest of his career.
Well, we certainly need him on Sunday. Lori, thanks. Great to catch up with you, and good luck on that passport thing. I look forward to the update.
Thank you so much. Thanks for all the help, really.
6:59 in Wisconsin's Morning News. Business headlines are up next. They're sponsored by Old National Bank. Get old? Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Rich Kirchen.
The CEO at one of Metro Milwaukee's largest automotive suppliers says the UAW strike isn't a problem in the short run. Stratec Security of Glendale continues making automotive lock sets per usual as most Big Three plants remain open. More than 450 Milwaukee area business and community leaders helped raise about $500,000 to support the Hispanic professionals of Greater Milwaukee, the organization's annual gala held at the Pfister Hotel. Oconomowoc-based Rogers Behavioral Health names a new CEO. Cindy Meyer served as interim CEO since May when John Boyd resigned. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Looking to do something new with your savings? Get old with a money market account from Old National Bank and earn a 5.15% annual percentage yield. Whatever you're saving for, Old National is here to put your money to work today. Earn 5.15% APY with our 9-month introductory money market offer valid through September 30th, 2023. To earn the promotional rate, account must be funded with a minimum of $10,000 out on deposit at Old National as of July 31st, 2023 within 15 days of account opening. Learn more at oldnational.com or visit a local banking center today. Member FDIC. Old National Bank. Get old.
For your new roof, we'll give you the hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty in the industry. You can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlawns.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you a free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Rich Lawns. You're due for service.
Rich Lawns.
I've been living with a snoring problem nearly my entire life. In fact, I can remember my mother teasing me, saying that I'd snore so loudly that the walls of our house would cave in with each breath.
Fast forward only recently, when Jessica's snoring forced her husband out of their bed and into another room. It's a pretty common situation. We call it a sleep divorce, and that's not good. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent. After Jessica had a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, we found that her snoring problem required a simple solution. In-office balloon sinuplasty. It's a 20-minute procedure, and it works. You won't find it offered by big box healthcare, but you will find it at Advent, where we offer every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution available. You can hear more of Jessica's story at adventknowsjessica.com and take your first step towards breathing well so you can live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions.
Results may vary.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Your locally owned hometown station gives you the news and what it means to you. Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7:02 on Wisconsin's Morning News. I'm Vince Vitrano. It's Tuesday, September 19th. Our top story. No immediate plans to develop a beer district.
I'm Eric Bilstead. 5 detained Americans back home.
I'm Brandon Snide. The injury bug takes another bite out of the Packers.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Everything's looking pretty good. We do have delays, of course, as usual. Southbound on 43 from Hampton all the way through the Capitol Drive area. Northbound backing up a bit from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keith. But other than that, everything else seems to be moving along pretty well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, we should have some showers moving into southeast Wisconsin later this morning. Chance of showers lingers through the day with a high of 70 degrees. Mostly cloudy and breezy. Slight chance of showers tonight and a low down to 60. Right now our temperature at 63 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, work beginning in Madison on ironing out details of the legislature's newest American Family Field funding proposal. Conversation locally surrounding the idea of perhaps raising revenue with development around the stadium. Brewers President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News that's not off the table, but it's certainly not in the team's immediate plans.
It is interesting to speculate what possibly could be developed. It's not imminent, and it's not our focus now. And the reality is there are so many conditions and prerequisites before ballpark development of that nature could happen.
Right now, the ballpark looking at 16 parking lots with more than 12,000 individual stalls.
Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin now offering abortion services again in Milwaukee and in Madison. As that is happening, pro-choice advocates celebrating the move.
Justice Action. With abortion access resuming in Wisconsin, Blake Jones of Reproductive Justice Action Milwaukee explains why they fight.
People misunderstand how important this is for healthcare. Once you realize that abortion is healthcare, it's not a hard concept to understand.
Carly Klein says they are just getting started.
So this is a huge victory. However, it is just a small step that needs to be taken in a larger battle of repealing Wisconsin State Statute 940.04.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, Right to Life Legislative Director Gracie Skogman telling us the 1849 law that the state has been using as the basis for an abortion ban remains the law, and they're preparing for a possible legal fight.
We are looking at all of our options, whether that be through the court system. Again, this is something that we might have to tackle legislatively. At this point, we're waiting to see and expect that it will end up before the state Supreme Court.
State healthcare providers have expressed concern that resuming abortion services while the legal battle continues.
5 Americans imprisoned in Iran for years on charges of spying are now back in the U.S. The deal to bring them home is being called politically risky and includes releasing $6 billion in frozen Iranian assets along with the return of 5 Iranian nationals that were held here. ABC's Mary Bruce.
In exchange for their freedom, the U.S. granting clemency to 5 Iranians and unfreezing $6 billion in Iranian oil revenue tied up by U.S. sanctions. But U.S. officials are adamant it will only be used for humanitarian purposes.
We have the means and mechanisms to make sure that that happens.
But critics argue unlocking any funds for Iran is dangerous and may encourage its authoritarian regime to take more Americans hostage.
The U.S. is issuing new sanctions against Iran, targeting Tehran's Ministry of Intelligence and the former president.
Coming up, honoring the career of a beloved area postal worker. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:06.
Hi, I'm John McGivern. If you're looking for a Medicare plan with freedom and flexibility, choose a Network Health Medicare Advantage plan. Plans start as low as $0 a month with $0 doctor visits and $0 prescription drugs, plus vision, hearing, and dental benefits. For 40 years, Network Health has been a trusted expert in making health insurance affordable and understandable. Don't wait. Call 833-7-NETWORK today.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Earn points every time you shop with Fleet Rewards. 500 points gets you a $5 reward. It's free and easy to sign up, in-store or online. Sign up today and start saving with Fleet Rewards at Fleet Farm.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:08.
Brewers blanked by the Cardinals. We'll check that magic number coming up in sports at 7:15.
Big day today. It's National Voters Registration Day. The Racine City Clerk's Office already looking ahead to next year's elections.
So our next election is in February, so we have a little bit of time. Certainly, we've been trying to spread the word everywhere we can.
Racine City Clerk Tara McMenamin tells WTMJ that may be the next election, but it's not the big one. That is in November.
We anticipate people from both sides of the aisle and all those in between to be coming out to the polls. You can save yourself time by making sure your registration is up to date.
You can check your voter registration status by going to myvote.wi.gov. Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
A letter carrier beloved by many in Milwaukee will be honored today as his 30-year career serving the city's River West neighborhood is set to come to an end. WTMJ's Adam Roberts in the Breaking News Center with more.
Yeah, Vince, this one touching home with me is a resident of that community. Michael Booth, a.k.a. you may know him as Mailman Mike, will be retiring from his route on Saturday. He's been a symbol of positivity in the River West neighborhood during his 3-decade-long run. Telling TMJ4 News this morning, he hopes that positivity rubs off on children in the community.
The children I watch me, and a lot of the children think I'm cool. So when you're cool, you know, they try to emulate what you do. So it's very important that I send a proper example. They're not my biological children, but they're all my children. That's the way I was raised from the community.
I can say from experience, he is quite cool. Cool as a cucumber, you might say. And it's that very rare mix, I think, of someone children find cool and hip or whatever, and also being a positive role model. So that's pretty cool as well. He'll be honored today by the Milwaukee Common Council at their full meeting. Neighborhood celebration planned for Sunday for Booth at the River West Farmers Market. I'll be there along with the rest of my neighbors. Live from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:10.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
You've seen the brothers, the owners of Siding Unlimited's video commercial. You can tell that Eric and Aaron Brown are good guys. And I, as their friend and radio spokesman for about 20 years now, can add that they operate a great company. Their dad instilled in them the importance of integrity, truth and trust, reliability, knowledge, and strength. Quality products for sure, but it's their commitment to the installation that sets Siding Unlimited apart from other companies. Dad built a strong siding business. The sons added windows, doors, roofing, and decks. Siding Unlimited hires experienced American craftsmen to do the best installation of those quality products onto your house. Customers and industry suppliers testify to Siding Unlimited's work ethic and quality. Siding Unlimited's awards fill the office wall. Come see them at the unique outside-in showroom in Gerke's Corners. Just remember siding, then sidingunlimited.com.
Checking in with Debbie here at 11 minutes after 7.
All right, really just seeing some delays along southbound 43, stretching kind of just south of Good Hope Road, kind of a long way, all the way down past Capitol Drive. Then it opens up, you're okay into the Marquette. Northbound's going to be slow from just before North Avenue all the way up to about Capitol Drive. Eastbound 94 filling in a little bit between 84th Street and Hawley Road. Northbound and southbound on 41 looking pretty good right now. It's pretty much gone back to normal. Hey, don't forget, if you see something we should know about, give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Mazda to support their Drive Out Cancer event. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A chance of showers this morning through midday. Mostly cloudy skies and a high temperature of 70 degrees. Any rain should be pretty light and scattered. Now for tonight, mostly cloudy and breezy. Slight chance of showers, a low of 60. Wednesday, staying remain unsettled. Partly cloudy and warmer. Slight chance of storms in the afternoon, a high of 80. Thursday, partly cloudy and warm. Slight chance of storms, a high of 80. Friday, partly cloudy and warm, more of the same. Slight chance of storms, a high of 81. And Saturday, partly cloudy, warm and humid. 78 lakeside, 84 degrees inland. I'm Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Temperature in Milwaukee at 63 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
712 Wisconsin's Morning News. Big week in New York City, the United Nations General Assembly. The world leaders from all over the planet converge.
Some world leaders.
Yes, not everybody's invited.
We'll get to that in a second. Wouldn't it be cool to go to the UN? That would be just awesome to be inside that place.
Like just as a spectator,
yeah,
or you want to be invited to address?
Well, both.
read from your manifesto?
We may not be addressing anyone today, but President Biden will deliver remarks at the opening of the UN General Assembly today with Ukraine foremost on his mind.
The annual meeting of the UN General Assembly begins with President Biden and Ukraine's president set to take the podium at a troubled time in the world as it faces the highest number of violent conflicts since 1945, beset by the consequences of Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine and the related spike in food prices.
So, Zelensky will also be speaking. The Ukrainian president, Zelensky, and Biden will meet later this week as well at the White House. Here's what's interesting about this. The number of world leaders not going. Has the relevancy disappeared for the UN? Russian President Vladimir Putin, okay, no shock there that he's not going. The Chinese
he can't go
president,
anywhere because he might get arrested for war crimes.
Correct. Xi Jinping, he's not going either. So no shock there. However, French President Emmanuel Macron isn't going.
He's taking a pass. He always likes these.
British Prime Minister is not going. The India Prime Minister is not going. In fact, you want to guess what Macron's scheduling conflict is? He is hosting King Charles in Paris this week.
Come on. Can't push that. And again...
And who schedules it? You know what? Okay, Your Highness. We know we need to get you some FaceTime.
Where can we squeeze you in? This UN thing, we don't have to do that. Right? So
Britain,
you can come that week.
Britain Prime Minister, they're not saying why he's missing. And both countries will be represented, of course. They got the delegation of ministers, they got ambassadors, whatnot. But the world leaders aren't going. So there's actually some experts and analysts out there saying that these world leaders skipping the UN is risking weakening the institution moving forward, if it's not already weakened.
I think another thing to watch is in the same room. So no, Russian President Vladimir Putin is not going to be there, but someone in his place will attend the UN Security Council meeting, as will Zelensky from Ukraine.
It'd be great.
In the same room.
If Prigozhin walks in there, like just out of nowhere, he's gone. He's no longer
I was going to say, he's not still.
No.
7:15 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Sports brought to you by Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc, your destination dealer.
It's still summer in Wisconsin, and Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc has you covered for fun in the sun. From bike nights to Saturday rides, or maybe just some retail therapy like a new motorcycle, or just a little something for yourself, there's always something going on. Check out Wisconsin Harley-Davidson at WISHD.com and like and follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and online at WISHD.com. Don't just see the world. Feel it right here, right now. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
Vince Vitrano here for Excel Concrete Coatings. If it's concrete, they'll coat it affordably and beautifully. Eric, you've seen the before and after pictures of what happened in my garage.
Oh, my gosh. It's like the Michelangelo now.
It's fantastic. My garage floor was all beat up. I mean, it was cracked, pock marks. The concrete was like disintegrating because it was old and nobody ever did anything to take care of it. I tried to do it myself once. Like put on one of these coatings. That lasted like 2 weeks. So I called Excel Concrete Coatings. They're based in Waukesha. Great family-owned company. Talked to Greg and Luann. They came out to the house. They even out all the cracks. They fill in all those little marks. They put this surface on. It's really beautiful. It's multicolored. And then they seal coat the whole thing. Now I almost don't want to park my cars on it.
Right?
Like, it looks super nice. Call the owners of Excel Concrete Coatings. You can talk to them directly. The number is 262-993-6950. Greg and Luann, they can't wait to hear from you. 262-993-6950. It's Excel Concrete Coatings. Tell them Vinny sent you.
When you see our selection of gently worn brand name girls and women's clothing, you'll love what you find, and you'll love the prices. So low that you won't believe your eyes. At St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, you'll find something cute, maybe a whole new outfit, for so much less. Gently worn brand name clothing at far below retail. You're gonna love it. On Highway 100 at Layton and Greenfield, and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. Accuracy matters, so make Exergen the chosen thermometer for your home and family.
Brew October on WTMJ is presented by Network Health, Delta Dental, and Annex Wealth Management. Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Brewers dropped Game 1 of 4 to the St. Louis Cardinals on Monday night. This one by a final score of 1-0 with the loss. And the Cubs idle the Brewers' magic number to clinch the National League Central Division remains at 7. Brewers Cards Game 2 tonight from St. Louis. Coverage getting underway right here on WTMJ beginning at 6:10. To college football, where Michigan State University informed head football coach Mel Tucker in a letter Monday of the school's intent to terminate his contract for cause, citing, quote, a body of undisclosed evidence of misconduct that warrants termination. And lastly, the Packers are prepping for their Week 3 home opener at Lambeau Field against the undefeated New Orleans Saints after they won on Monday night against the Carolina Panthers. Pro Bowl left guard Elton Jenkins will reportedly miss some time with what is being called an MCL sprain in his left knee. He suffered that in the second quarter of the Week 2 loss in Atlanta. Jenkins will have an MRI this week to determine the severity of that injury.
Hey, you know who was at that tacos and tequila thing that's widely been panned as a disaster?
In Franklin at the Rock?
Niz Nansky. And we got him live next. So we'll talk about weather. We do have some showers moving into the area, so we'll cover that with Niz, as well as his escapade at tacos and tequila. Here's a tease. There weren't that many tacos or tequila for Niz. That's next.
No, he's not going to put you in the lineup. But luckily, this is the closest you can get to the skipper himself.
I mean, Robin is the all-time Brewer for sure.
Greg Council, every Tuesday on Wisconsin's Morning News at 7:45.
Willie is, I think, a player that, is capable of taking down some of the things that Robin has done.
This is Brewers 360, presented by Holiday Automotive and Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Knowing how to manage your investments wisely to avoid your nest egg being eaten away by the tax man, all legally, of course, that's what sets us apart.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
FinancialStrategiesInc.com.
The famous Fox and Hounds and Mineshaft restaurants are hiring servers, bartenders, bussers, food runners, and barbacks. It's a great part-time job for high school and college students and retirees. Make real money. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today. Start next week.
Are you young, hardworking, and sick of living in an overpriced apartment? Or worse yet, your parents' basement? Are you tired of wishing you lived in a bigger place with a backyard for your kids to play? Are you sick of making offers on homes just to watch them slip away? If so, you need to call Speaker Robin Voss at 1-800-362-9472 and thank him for supporting the workforce and senior housing bill package, because help is on the way. In July, $525 million in funding for workforce and senior housing was signed into law, and Speaker Robin Voss's support helped make that happen. These laws will make a difference in putting Wisconsin's housing crisis behind us, developing new housing that Wisconsin's workforce can afford. It's time to thank Speaker Robin Voss. Just like you, everyone wants a backyard too. Paid for by the Wisconsin Realtors Advocacy Fund.
$3.99 gets you a bundle this week at Sendix. Chicken breast, ground chuck, pork tenderloin, and homemade brats, all for just $3.99 a pound at Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Debbie.
All right, well, we've got some delays for sure. Southbound 43 really kind of kicking in from just south of Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. Once you make it past Burleigh, you're good to go into the Marquette. Now, the northbound side slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Capitol, Very typical stuff. Eastbound 94 now starting to fill in between 84th Street and the Stadium interchange. It is going to be a little bit on the slow side, so give yourself a few extra minutes. Eastbound right now from the zoo into downtown is going to take you about 9 minutes. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly cloudy, chance of showers today. In fact, some moving into southeast Wisconsin this morning, high of 70 degrees. Right now, 63 in Milwaukee. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Znansky live with us on the line this morning. I can't start with that because we do have weather, so let's do weather first.
Okay, sure. I hear the tequila music.
Yeah, so you're queued up. You're ready. How about the showers this morning, Is everybody going to see this, or is it falling apart?
So I think we're staring at a large area of rain that's moving through Madison. Now, I do think, especially from Milwaukee to the south, we're going to get in on some of this action. However, I do think it will have a diminishing trend, and I think the heaviest stuff is going to kind of shift its way into northern Illinois. So we'll just say chance of showers for the most part. Better chances the farther south you go, and I think the chances start to increase in the metro Milwaukee area. I'd give it about 45 minutes to an hour, and we'll start to see some of this stuff moving in.
All right, so I want to ask you about something. You and your lovely wife, Julie, I saw the picture you posted. We're at the Tacos and Tequila Fest this weekend.
Yeah.
Which I didn't get an invite. We were right next door. That's my neck of the woods. I don't know.
You didn't strike me as a Petey Pablo guy.
Could have done without it. But by many accounts, folks are saying it was a disaster. Long lines, running out of food, operations. Not great.
It depends. I think it depends on, your experience. I wouldn't go as far as a disaster for me. Now, I did pay a little bit more to be part of the VIP package or whatever.
Yeah, you did.
Which got us. Well, I was pumped for this, to be honest with you. I was ready to go. This is like right in my wheelhouse of like college days, all these performers.
The
Take
hip-hop
me back.
lineup, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was all in, so I talked to the missus. We went all in. So our line was a lot better than the general admission line. But to be honest with you, that general admission line was like all the way to Muskego when we showed up. It was crazy. So that was the first thing. Their statement they made on Facebook, I think Social House Entertainment, I still had a great time. I just felt like it kind of lacked a little bit of empathy and it put past blame onto the easy one. This really kind of set me off a little bit.
Yeah, the weatherman. Here, I'll read part of the apology. Quote, "We faced unexpected severe weather, which further complicated the event's logistics."
Yeah, and honestly, the weather was expected 100%. And I mean, there was nothing that was unexpected about the rain. And technically, there was nothing severe. Now, with that said, I am glad they took the measures that they took, the postponing, the try to get the people off the field and stuff. That I'm all good with. But the lines were already enormously large, and they were already facing issues well before the rain even started. So I don't know, passing the blame on the weather, whether it was expected or not, I think kind of was a cop-out. With things.
What was the issue, Niz? Was it just a matter of not enough people to handle the demand and the tickets that were coming through?
I think so. I mean, I don't know specifically. Our gate was fine, but the general admission gate was about the same size as what we went through, but had obviously a ton more people
Did you
to
get
it.
any
So
tacos?
I don't know. All right, yeah, so we finally got our first taco at about 11 o'clock at night. Well, maybe about 10 o'clock at night.
And you came hungry, right? It's tacos is the headliner.
We needed it. And get this, guys. So it's towards the tail end, and it's Julie and I. And we're feeling pretty good, right? So we finally get our tacos, and I got my 2 plates of tacos. I'm pumped, but at the same time, I'm trying to reorder a Uber that had canceled on us, and we're pretty much going to be stranded in Franklin. So I put my plate of tacos on the generator that's attached to the food truck, and as I'm trying to figure out, the tacos, the vibration from the generator knocked my taco plate onto the ground. So I got no tacos, and I had to share one of Julie's. It was bad.
Oh.
I think I would have eaten them either way.
Did you have to go home and eat then?
So finally, buddy of mine, Jose, who we went with, got his neighbor who was sober to come and get us. He lives close to Franklin. So we finally made it out of there and made a frozen pizza at his place. It was amazing.
Nice. I know Jose. I'm glad his neighbor was sober.
She's a college kid who was in town visiting the parents. He talked her into coming to get us. We were safe. It was a good time, guys.
Don't blame the weatherman.
Oh, I love this song, too. Petey, love it. Ying Yang Twins are awesome, too. Mike Jones was awesome. The tacos, not so much. See you guys.
Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky. 7:27.
Later.
Time for news about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average up about 6 points on Monday to 34,624. NASDAQ closed at 13,710, up fewer than 2 points, in the S&P 500 up just about 3 to 44.54. It's time for the Annex Wealth Management Tax Smart Planning Review. They'll review, assess, and provide strategies you can use. Go to annexwealth.com/taxsmart.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's 68th anniversary, and we're celebrating in a big way with exciting new and innovative products throughout the store at unbeatable anniversary prices. Like a 26-piece Performance Tool color-coded screwdriver set with rack, just $22.99. Blaine's brand synthetic motor oil, $4.99 a quart, $4.50 a quart for rewards members. And 5-gallon buckets of Blaster parts cleaning fluid, $20 off. Come celebrate and save during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's 68th anniversary sale going on now.
Home practice is about to begin. Your daughter's new tap shoes? Loud. Your son's new tuba? Louder. But you got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft grace zone. So if you lose track of expenses buying some noise-canceling and sanity-saving headphones, we've got your back. You got this with $50 overdraft grace zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics are in-network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid, and there have been thousands of patients that have received our pain relief treatment with zero out-of-pocket expense. Our FDA-approved treatments we'll use to remedy your pain are precisely guided to its root, to provide inflammation and cushioning relief to alleviate pain. What ends up happening is you begin on a pain maintenance plan, and how committed you want to be to alleviating your pain is up to you. But at the least, you can see us semi-annually to annually to, in many cases, significantly reduce pain in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief. Really. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
We're Ted and Pam, owners of Church and Chapel Funeral Homes here in town.
Our family, serving your family.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
7:30, I'm Adam Robertson. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Tuesday, September 19th. Your top story, another battle over abortion on the horizon in Wisconsin.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we've got an incident on southbound 4394 right about at Holt Avenue off on the right shoulder. And then we've got delays, of course, from Good Hope Road pretty much all the way down past Capitol Drive. Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Americans freed from an Iranian prison are now back in the United States. Here's ABC Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce.
After years of negotiations just a short while ago, the 5 Americans touching down finally back home. It comes as President Biden is here preparing to deliver his annual address at the United Nations General Assembly. Now, the Iranian president is also here at the UN General Assembly, but don't expect any kind of meeting between him and President Biden. The White House is making it very clear that this deal is not a sign that the U.S. relationship with Iran is going to be changing in any way. They say they are not easing up on Iran.
Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gerskovich detained on espionage charges in Moscow, appearing in a Russian courtroom to appeal his arrest today. He is the first American reporter to face such charges in Russia since 1986. India has expelled a senior Canadian diplomat and accuses Canada of interfering in its internal affairs. That coming a day after Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said there were credible allegations that India was connected to the assassination of a Sikh activist in Canada. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Starting Unlimited WTMJ news time is 7:31. Cloudy skies with rain on the way to southeast Wisconsin. It's currently 61 degrees in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, as abortion services resume in Milwaukee and Madison this week, a legal battle appears to be on the horizon. Pro-choice advocates celebrating last night outside the Milwaukee County Courthouse.
With abortion access resuming in Wisconsin, Blake Jones of Reproductive Justice Action Milwaukee explains why they fight.
People misunderstand how important this is for healthcare. Once you realize that abortion is healthcare, it's not a hard concept to understand.
Carly Klein says they are just getting started.
So this is a huge victory. However, it is just a small step that needs to be taken in a larger battle of repealing Wisconsin State Statute 940.04.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, Right to Life Legislative Director Gracie Skogman says the 1849 law the state has been using as the basis for an abortion ban remains the law, and tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News they are prepping up for that legal fight.
We are looking at all of our options, whether that be through the court system. Again, this is something that we might have to tackle legislatively. At this point, we're waiting to see and expect that it will end up before the state Supreme Court.
Many Wisconsin healthcare providers have expressed concern over resuming abortion services while the legal fight is ongoing. Amid conversations of renovations for American Family Field, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson is calling on the Brewers to develop the parking lot around the stadium to generate more tax revenue. Mayor Johnson saying Monday the lot around American Family Field should resemble Deer District around Fiserv Forum. Brewers Director of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger expressing hesitation towards changing the lot, which is known to be the site of tailgating and other parties before Brewers games and other events. We're learning more this morning about an incident involving U.S. Representative Derek Van Orden of Wisconsin and teenage Senate pages. Back in July, Democratic Representative Mark Pocan telling the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel Van Orden allegedly took a celebratory bow after reportedly yelling and cursing at the group of pages while giving a late-night tour of the U.S. Capitol. As far as the video footage of the incident, it appears unlikely to be released. Capitol Police saying video from the Capitol usually becomes public only through court proceedings. The Sentinel also reporting the pages in question spoke to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer in August to ask that the footage not be released. And ollies for everyone in the bike lanes. Senator Chris Larson sponsoring a bill that would allow people to ride a skateboard in bike lanes, telling TMJ4 News skateboarders should not be ticketed.
In some cases, this is kind of an excuse that police will use to be able to intervene and stop kids who are otherwise just going about their day. And in some cases, adults who like to skateboard too.
Senator Larson says the bill has bipartisan support and would leave the decision up to local municipalities. Live from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:34.
Coming up, this bear at Disney World was right where he was supposed to be, wasn't he?
Traffic is brought to you by Crest Cadillac. Find them at crestcadillac.com. Crest Cadillac of Brookfield, located on Capitol Drive, just west of Interstate 41. Discover Crest Cadillac at crestcadillac.com.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
RJ Schenner has several Toshiba copier printers from James Imaging Systems. IT manager Gabe Colasari.
The reason why for James Imaging is their responsiveness, dedication, knowledge of the product, and they always make sure that the customer is taken care of.
The kind of customer service you'd expect from a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed office technology company like James Imaging Systems.
We actually have a high-end printing machine on site, so we produce our own catalogs, so we need the support to handle that.
James Imaging Systems, better document imaging technology, better service.
When we've got a problem, we're able to call in and get it rectified or corrected without any issues.
Gabe, any advice to other local businesses?
Contact James. they'll take care of you.
James Imaging Systems, reliable document imaging technology, extraordinary local service. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
Business insurance continues to get more complex. Here's Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Thanks, Vince. Uncertainty for business owners is a real issue today. Multiple years of inflation, increasing litigation, and economic uncertainty all make for a complex environment for business. These factors are driving up the cost for business insurance. Layer on top of that another record year of M&A for insurance brokers, and protecting your business gets even more complex. You need a knowledgeable, stable insurance partner with resources to guide your business through this uncertainty. R&R's business model is based on client value, providing insights, stability, and deep industry knowledge to all of our clients. With 48 years of stability, local family ownership, and a team of client-focused resources supporting your business, at R&R Insurance, it's all about your company's success. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:37.
Brewers manager Craig Counsell, our guest on Brewers 360, that's coming your way at 7:45.
An uninvited guest wandered into Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom Park on Monday. A black bear spotted wandering near the amusements. It ended up on the park grounds. It ended up causing issues, closing rides. And the most unique part about it was in Frontierland. So this is where the Bears Jamboree is located.
So this was a real, like an actual bear was loose?
Yes.
That is amazing. I love that.
What did I hear over there?
It's cocaine bear.
It's a little cocaine bear, actually. So yeah, they were a little surprised at it. No one was expecting to see a real bear.
When I read about it, I was just like, wow, bear. That's crazy.
So they had to close some things down. Here's the part that makes me laugh, though, is what the expectation level is.
But hopefully, I mean, you know, Disney's like, well, we'll compensate you somehow. I mean, free ice cream.
Yeah, no, I don't think Disney's going to do anything for you. But
that would do it for you, though? Free ice cream? Listen, we're sorry about the bear.
That would suck, though, if you...
Here's a Mickey Pop.
If you spend all that time and all that money to go down there and then half the rides are shut down because of some feral bear that wanders through.
There is that. Honestly, the Disney way, though, like they're kind of a, what do we need to do to make this right for you?
Okay.
On a mass level like that, though?
I like how the first thing you thought of was of one bear in particular.
Cocaine bear.
Yeah.
Right. 7:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News. News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
When it comes to sharpening your investment and retirement strategy, the Annex Wealth Management Navigating the Markets presentation is a must. You're invited to join our senior leaders at any of 4 upcoming events. What are the headwinds for portfolios in excess of $1 million? Will the long-awaited recession actually happen? How does today's economy fit from a historical perspective? And most importantly, what can you do to calibrate your portfolio? Navigating the Markets is fast-paced, interactive, and packed with perspective from the Annex Investment Committee of experienced professionals, including PhDs, CFAs, and CFPs with the knowledge and skill to help with what's next. Navigating the Markets takes place in Mequon on September 26th, Madison, October 3rd, Brookfield, October 5th, and Appleton, October 10th. These premier events are complimentary and open to everyone. Complete details and sign up at annexwealth.com/events. Reserve your spots soon. Seats are limited. The American economy is at a critical juncture. Join us for Navigating the Markets from Annex Wealth Management.
John Deere in Horicon is hiring press operators. Nothing beats their wage and benefits package. Full-time press operators pay no premiums for family health insurance, meaning they can take home hundreds more each month. With $23 to $25 per hour to start, a $1,000 sign-on bonus, annual wage increases, potential bonuses, 401k with company match, and more, nothing says you've arrived like a job at John Deere Horicon Works. So apply now at deere.com/Horicon.
Hi, it's Rose Gray from Fox World Travel, inviting you on an unforgettable 2024 adventure. Explore Alaska, Europe, Hawaii, Japan, Egypt, Vietnam, and South Africa by land or river exclusively with Fox World Travel. Our award-winning experts crafted extraordinary itineraries with Insight Vacations, Globus, Avalon Waterways, Uniworld, and Holland America. Follow your wanderlust. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO to start your journey. Let's explore the world together.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
741 Wisconsin's Morning News. Checking in here with Debbie.
Well. Southbound on 43. Welcome to the party. Southbound's going to be 23 minutes to get from Brown Deer Road to downtown. That's backing up from Good Hope Road pretty much all the way down to about Burlime, and you're okay into the Marquette. Northbound on 43, that's backing up out of Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Capitol Drive. Also seeing some delays northbound 4394 coming out of the Mitchell interchange around the Plainfield curve up past an incident that's right about at Holt Avenue on-ramp. It's off on the right shoulder. We got emergency crews on the scene, so that might be a little bit of a distraction. Eastbound 94, slow from the zoo all the way to about 35th Street. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A chance of showers this morning through midday. Mostly cloudy skies and a high temperature of 70 degrees. Any rain should be pretty light and scattered. Now for tonight, mostly cloudy and breezy. Slight chance of showers, a low of 60. Wednesday, staying unsettled. Partly cloudy and warmer. Slight chance of storms in the afternoon, a high of 80. Thursday, partly cloudy and warm. Slight chance of storms, a high of 80. Friday, partly cloudy and warm. More of the same. Slight chance of storms, a high of 81. And Saturday, partly cloudy, warm and humid. 78 Lakeside, 84 degrees inland. I'm Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 63. 743 Wisconsin's Morning News this Tuesday morning. Do I have to talk about the government shutdown yet?
No. Well, how many days out are we?
11.
It's a lot of time.
Right? Again with this. Like, if you turn on the network shows and they've got it all, it's time, government could shut down.
The clock is ticking.
Just 1 week. Next week, if we're still without an agreement on funding the government, 7 days from now, that gives us inside, 3-4 days?
I'd say go even longer than that.
Give me 48 hours, then we'll talk?
Yeah, or maybe 24. Why listen to these guys? All they're going to say is a bunch of nothing.
Right, and at this point, it's just posturing. Yes. Right, exactly.
Until it gets, hear their saber rattling.
Gets down to critical mass. Something will get done before then, or even if it won't, right? I mean, it's not without precedent. The government has shut down before, true, for whatever effect that has, but...
Strongly worded statements and strongly worded sound bites. That's all we're going to hear for the next 11 days.
All right, fine. 7-day ban, at least.
All right.
We will not discuss on this program the potential government shutdown for at least 1 week.
You promise?
No. 744, Brewers manager Craig Counsell next on Brewers 360.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make outdoor living unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Who makes insurance simple? That's easy. Delta Dental of Wisconsin. So if you ask, what company encourages you to use your benefits for regular preventive care? Or who provides quick service online or by phone? Which insurance offers access to the largest provider networks? Or who helps you save money when you need more than a checkup? The answer's the same. Definitely Delta Dental. For dental and vision insurance made simple, choose Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision today.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Brew October on WTMJ is presented by Network Health, Delta Dental, and Annex Wealth Management. Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Brewers dropped game 104 to the St. Louis Cardinals on Monday night by a final of 1-0. With the loss and the Cubs idle, the Brewers' magic number to clinch the National League Central Division remains at 7. Brewers Cards game 2 tonight from St. Louis. Coverage getting underway right here on WTMJ beginning at 6:10.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. On Tuesdays, we talk to the skipper. Brewers manager Craig Counsell is with us live from St. Louis this morning. Morning, Craig.
Good morning.
Hey, I know it's not your end of the business, but we had big news in Milwaukee and Wisconsin yesterday. There's movement on the stadium funding package for American Family Field. Like me, you were just a kid who grew up in County Stadium and also remember that whole debate about building then Miller Park. the fact that there's movement on this and it might mean a long-term future for the Brewers in Milwaukee, you got to feel good about that.
Absolutely. These are complicated issues for sure, and I think everybody wants the same thing. And sometimes it just takes a while to get there, and hopefully yesterday was a step in the right direction.
In talking with your players, Craig, does the ballpark matter when you're talking about guys buying in or being happy where they are, or maybe even in free agent acquisitions, things like that? Does the venue that they play in, does the clubhouse, all of those things, does that matter to the guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing is the clubhouse. Probably no, but I do think the venue, the fact that there's a roof, in Wisconsin, what that does to bring fans to the park, that matters. I mean, one thing that I think the Brewers had going for us for the last decade or so is just the support from the fans and the attendance and the number of people at the games. And that means like atmosphere in the ballpark. That's what players love. Players love atmosphere in the park. And I think, if you were there last weekend, on Saturday night, you definitely saw it. So that's number one. And I think us having a nice facility with a roof, and so we know that there's going to be a game every night without a delay. That's pretty important.
Brewers manager Craig Counsell with us on Wisconsin's Morning News. Hey, great segue into what we saw yesterday in St. Louis. And I know the Cards and Wainwright got the best of the crew again last night. However, to see empty seats at New Busch Stadium in St. Louis in September, that was really an odd sight for me.
It never happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think, that's, does fans want, winning product for sure, and that's part of it as well. We know that, and it absolutely should be that way. That should be a demand that fans make. So, it was a little different there. I was certainly Adam Wainwright was, going after a big round number and an important number in baseball history, and I was expecting a lot more people there actually. It's just, but I think the record of the team probably is, means a little more.
Did you say anything to Adam like, "Hey, come on, Wainwright, come on, man, you're officially done now, right?"
No. He pitched really well, and he had a great night, and he deserves to celebrate it.
A couple cool defensive plays as well. Of course, Sal Frelick's catch in center field last night, and then Carlos Santana with the ball stuck in his glove and the toss over to first. That was special.
Yeah, Sal's play was, he's had a couple of those. He had one in New York last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and then the one yesterday. So that's those are fun to watch, man. I mean, I think everybody gets on board with somebody going full effort with a wall right in front of you, man. That's something special.
Brewers magic number is at 7, 6:10 coverage time right here on WTMJ from St. Louis. Thanks, Craig.
You got it, guys. Take care.
10 minutes before 8 o'clock. Mark Tauscher next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Goldie Schmidt is going to find that these pitches won't be too high, not too low, but just right.
Burns deals. Goldschmidt swings and misses. A curveball struck him out.
The Brew Crew pay another visit to the Cardinals with our Brewers Radio Network coverage presented by American Family Insurance. Starting tonight at 6:10. We are the home of your Milwaukee Brewers. 620 WTMJ.
And the three live happily ever after.
It's Chevy truck season, and with a Chevy Silverado, there's no such thing as an uphill battle. With a Chevy Silverado, you can take on the mountains, or you can move them. Because with impressive towing capability, an available 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen, and the choice of powerful engines to pick from, whatever your mountain, there's a Silverado with the capability you need. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com.
Be proactive so you're not freezing at home this winter. Your walls are drafty. Retrofoam of southeastern Wisconsin can fill your walls with foam insulation. It's all done from the exterior of your home without any hassle or mess. The entire process only takes a day, and Retrofoam of southeast Wisconsin offers a lifetime warranty and property protection guarantee. Retrofoam of southeastern Wisconsin takes pride in its customer service and efficiency. Get 20% off if you call by the end of September. Just search online. Retrofoam of southeast Wisconsin.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank, and as a community bank, we sincerely appreciate our customer loyalty. Over nearly 90 years, we've done all we can to return the favor. Great Midwest Bank offers flexible solutions that bigger banks and credit unions simply can't, because our entire team is right here in the community. We love helping our neighbors when we're at work and then catching up over the weekend. Visit us at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Traffic is sponsored by Import Minded on South 27th Street. Get back on the road today. Get your car healthy by bringing it to Import Minded on South 27th. For all your auto repair and service needs, it's Import Minded on South 27th Street.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in with Debbie, 8 minutes before 8 o'clock.
Yep, we've got westbound 94 has an accident now in Waukesha County. This is right about at Highway J or 164 on the left shoulder. So it's not in the best spot in the world, so just be extra careful. Of course, we are seeing some eastbound backups making your way in from Highway 16 to that point as well. And again, through the Gerke's Corners area and then on from the zoo into the basically looks like 35th Street where it starts to let up. So keep that in mind. Also, northbound on 4394, slow out of the Mitchell interchange around the Plainfield curve. We do have that incident at Holt Avenue. It's a car pulled over by a police officer off on the right, a little bit of a distraction. You will start to let up once you get past Oklahoma Avenue. And southbound 43, going to be pretty hefty from south of Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. We do have some shower activity moving into southeast Wisconsin. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brian Isnansky says much of it will be diving south, so your better chance for getting some rain this morning in the southern part of the listening area. High of 70 degrees today, mostly cloudy, breezy, slight chance of showers tonight, and a low down to 60. Right now, 63 in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
You remember when Sammy Sosa missed games because he sneezed?
Innovator.
I can't ever imagine having to go into our trainer's office and say, hey, I can't practice today. I sneezed too hard. So I do the triple, I sneeze in small increments.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
That was kind of the catalyst for me always. The way I've changed my sneezing pattern was because of Sammy Sosa's injury.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers.
Mark Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by your Southeast Wisconsin Chevy dealers. So Tausch, I did a thing this weekend. I don't know if you have any thoughts on the wisdom of this as well. My buddy from the Milwaukee Business Journal, Mark Cass, and I entered a pickleball tournament.
Okay. So Vinny, before, do you guys rank it? How do you know which level to play at when you join these tournaments?
So great question. They had, and now this wasn't like a professional pickleball association tournament or whatever. The Palms team at my high school, my kids' high school in Greendale, was holding a fundraiser. And so your entry fee went to support the Palms. And so either way, it was going to be a winning day. But it did attract pickleballers from around the area. So it wasn't just local dads and stuff. It was clearly people who do pickleball. Like, I felt like when we walked up, I play pickleball. Some of these dudes were pickleball players. You know what I mean? And there's a difference.
There's definitely a difference. So so it's basically just they throw everybody together. They're not like saying, well, you're a 4-5, you're a 4-0.
Right.
It's open competition just for fun.
It wasn't rated, Tausch, but they had like beginner, intermediate, and advanced.
So what were you guys?
So,
where did
we
you
threw
guys
in advanced.
Oh, God.
Get the horn
ready.
ready.
All right, we found the first problem. Okay, fair enough.
So, yeah, we roll up, and we were in a few of the games. So it was pool play for the first round. You play three, and it was only one game. So you play 3 games, and then the top performers in that pool move on to play the top performers in the other pool in sort of a semifinal final. I don't think we won a game, and I can honestly tell you I can't remember whether we won our last or not. I felt like I just got boat raced all afternoon.
So how does that work? So you get your brakes beat in, and you could kind of tell when you were – anytime you preface it by saying it was for a good cause and we're going to have a fun day anyways, I knew you didn't win a match. Like, that was baked into the cake. That there was nothing going on. But I have never played in a professional tournament. Is it the job of whomever, when you're making line calls, any controversial line calls, any squawking, or was it pretty everybody on the up and up?
No, everything was good. We didn't run into any guys who were snippy anyway. And they had an official.
Probably because they're ahead 10-1,
right?
But that's another thing.
There was an official at every spot on every court. But he or she was not calling lines and probably wasn't there really interested in resolving disputes. These were volunteers, right? So, but, we called our own lines. There was no controversy, and it was good guys and good competition. In deference to Cass was worried I was going to make it sound worse than it was. We were in a number of games, Tausch. It was a different level of pickleball that I have played. I played singles, too.
Okay. Well, singles I've seen. You're a good player. Do you wish you guys would have went intermediate?
No, so there's what I would ask you as well. So I would have felt bad if we went intermediate and just cleaned house.
This log roll,
right?
Everybody.
Like, oh, look at these two guys. They don't belong here. So I feel like
boat racing and log boating. What was
steam training?
Yeah,
boat races.
I think you never want to go somewhere. I would always much rather get boat raced than it not be fun and competitive. I'd rather be the person getting boat raced, but that's always the battle. And pickleball, I don't know if you've noticed this. Pickleball people, they're a little bit snobbish about who they play with. If you get put in the wrong group, you kind of get frowned upon and looked down. So we have a group here, there's a 4-0 and a 4-5, and if you try to play in the advanced and you're not good enough, you can sense people are basically saying, get out of here.
Barrel roll.
We don't want your kind playing with us. And it's the same thing, and then it's the 4-0s do the same thing to the 3-5s, and there's... Everybody wants the people to come play, but once it gets competitive, you want it to be competitive and tough. You don't want to be steamboating or steamrolling or boat racing or logging, whatever it is. You don't want any of that. You want it to be competitive.
I definitely felt like I learned a lot. I was glad we played up.
What are we talking about? You learned a lot.
Well,
I learned
you always learn more in defeat. Yeah. You always learn more in defeat. Have you gotten Billstead out playing yet?
No, not yet. Just here criticizing me. Just here making fun.
That's what it sounds like. He's classic armchair pickleballer. Those are the worst kind of pickleballers.
No, Tausch, I get out there with the family. You guys are just a ton times better than me. You wouldn't enjoy it.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, Tausch. We'll catch up again tomorrow.
Boat race.
Yeah.
Here are the business headlines with the Milwaukee Business Journal's Rich Kirchen.
So far, the UAW strike has a minimal impact on one of the area's largest automotive suppliers, Stratec Security in Glendale. CEO Frank Kretschy says most Big Three plants stay open. His company keeps producing automotive lock sets. A successful gala for the Hispanic professionals of Greater Milwaukee with $500,000 in proceeds. More than 450 guests attend the fundraiser at the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee. A promotion in the executive ranks at Rogers Behavioral Health of Oconomowoc. Cindy Meyer is the new CEO after serving since May in an interim role. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
It's David Nason from WTMJ's The Fix-It Show, here with Chris Mancuso, owner of Accurate Basin Repair. Hi, Chris.
Hey, David. Courage, honor, and integrity. That is what I brought over to Accurate Basin Repair Team following my 25 years of proud service as a Milwaukee firefighter. This is the same foundation that Accurate is built on.
As a home inspector, I trust Accurate Basin Repair for all your basement and waterproofing needs. They're not just good, they're accurate. Learn more at AccurateBasinRepair.com.
Hi, I'm John McGivern. If you are looking for a Medicare plan with freedom and flexibility, choose a Network Health Medicare Advantage plan. Plans start as low as $0 a month with $0 doctor visits and $0 prescription drugs, plus vision, hearing, and dental benefits. For 40 years, Network Health has been a trusted expert in making health insurance affordable and understandable. Don't wait. Call 833-7NETWORK today.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Goldie Schmidt is going to find that these pitches won't be too high, not too low, but just right.
Goldschmidt swings and misses. A curveball struck him out.
The Brew Crew pay another visit to the Cardinals with coverage starting tonight at 6:10. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
8:02, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News, Tuesday, September 19th. Our top story, another legal battle over abortion appears on the horizon in Wisconsin.
I'm Eric Bilstead. A Wisconsin congressman takes a bow.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. That accident, 94 westbound at Highway J. Turns out it's on the eastbound side on the left shoulder. Thanks so much to a caller to the tip line that let me know about that. And that is also backing you up basically from Highway 16, on Highway 16, all the way on to 94 eastbound. So be prepared for that. It's on the left shoulder, and it is causing a bit of a headache. Eastbound 94, then past that from the Zoo interchange all the way through to about 35th Street. It's going to be a bit slow. Westbound slow out of the Marquette through the Stadium interchange as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly cloudy, chance of showers today and a high of 70 degrees. Mostly cloudy tonight. Breezy, slight chance of showers, low down to 60. Milwaukee temp at 62. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, as abortion services resume in Milwaukee and in Madison, pro-choice advocates were celebrating last night. They were outside the Milwaukee County Courthouse.
With abortion access resuming in Wisconsin, Blake Jones of Reproductive Justice Action Milwaukee explains why they fight.
People misunderstand how important this is for healthcare. Once you realize that abortion is healthcare, it's not a hard concept to understand.
Carly Klein says they are just getting started.
So this is a huge victory. However, it is just a small step that needs to be taken in a larger battle of repealing Wisconsin State Statute 940.04.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Right to Life Legislative Director Gracie Skogman says the 1849 law the state's been using as the basis for an abortion ban remains the law. She tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News they're preparing for a legal fight.
We are looking at all of our options, whether that be through the court system. Again, this is something that we might have to tackle legislatively. At this point, we're waiting to see and expect that it will end up before the state Supreme Court.
Learning more this morning about an incident involving Congressman Derek Van Orden, Republican of Western Wisconsin, La Crosse area, and teenage Senate pages back in July. WTMJ's Adam Roberts live at the Breaking News Center.
Vince, Democratic Representative Mark Pocan telling the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel Van Orden allegedly took a celebratory bow after he reportedly yelled and cursed at the group of pages while giving a late-night tour of the U.S. Capitol. It appears right now unlikely that video footage of the incident will be released. Capitol Police saying video from the Capitol usually becomes public only through court proceedings or at the direction of the House Administration Committee. The Journal-Sentinel also reporting the pages in question spoke to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer in August to ask that the footage not be released. Live in the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts.
The 2024 Milwaukee City budget will reportedly avoid service cuts for the first time in years. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson going to release his proposed budget for the city later today. Local officials say a new cash flow coming from the updated shared revenue plan, the implementation of a sales tax, and remaining federal pandemic aid will make the 2024 budget more flexible than those in years to come. The Common Council scheduled to adopt the 2024 budget, at least start debating it in November.
Coming up, a deposition for a pop superstar, citing Unlimited. WTMJ News Time, 8:05.
Trees on the Move's field clearing sale is on now with savings up to 75%. 20 to 30-foot maples, elms, oaks, honey locust, and more. 12 to 18-foot spruce, arborvitae, and junipers are on sale too. Trees on the Move has to clear 40 acres, and this is your chance to buy big and save big. These trees are great for newer existing homes, landscape projects, or replacing trees lost to disease or storm damage. Trees on the Move's field clearing sale, Monday through Friday from 8 to 4, Saturday 9 to 4, or see treesonthemove.com.
You just can't pass on Less's Glass. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, a group of doctors I trusted with my knee surgery. The pain was real and options were important. My experience with each doctor was thorough, the appointments were timely, always close and easy access to the building. My mom felt the same way, I know, when she went there for her physical therapy appointments at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. I trusted their surgical team for my knee surgery, and I know they'll take care of you the way they did my mom and me. Make an appointment at orthowisconsin.com.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickard for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickard on WTMJ.
This is WTMJ's Jeff Wagner for Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattresses, here to tell you about Built Right's extended Labor Day sale, including in-stock items and special orders. Look, it's all about your comfort, your style, and your home at Built Right. 4 generations, 95 years strong. Built Right always saves you money. The 3rd and 4th generation family members are on hand working in the store along with their amazing team with over 400 years of experience. Thousands of items in stock, plus 500 mattresses. Special orders? Well, they're faster in 2023. Built Right has affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses for everyone from petite to plus size. USA made, small scale, Amish made, real solid wood furniture. Over 48 models of power lift recliners in stock. Free in-store design services too. Built Right, voted best place to shop and winner of the Home Furnishings Association's 2023 National Retailer of the Year. They're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, they're closed to be with family. When you get there, tell them WTMJ's Jeff Wagner sent you to locally and family-owned Built Right, 5430 West Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Most companies focus on the product. At Semperfi, we focus on our people and you, and that's never let us down. That's why you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi!
Sounding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:08.
City Clerk's office in Racine looking ahead to the coming elections.
So our next election is in February, so we have a little bit of time. Certainly, we've been trying to spread the word everywhere we can.
Racine City Clerk Tara McMenamin tells WTMJ that may be the next election, but it's not the big one. That is in November.
We anticipate people from both sides of the aisle and all those in between to be coming out to the polls. You can save yourself time by making sure your registration is up to date.
You can check your voter registration status by going to myvote.wi.gov. Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Rap superstar Travis Scott spent hours being questioned this week in connection with the disastrous Astroworld Festival issue in 2021.
We need somebody to help him. Somebody pass out right here.
Travis Scott has been cleared of criminal wrongdoing in the concert tragedy. He still faces lawsuits from people like Tristan Blount, whose son Ezra was the youngest of 10 people crushed in the crowd.
I could not move. I'm trying to hold him with my arms while I'm moving side to side with the crowd.
The Blount family is suing Travis Scott and the Astroworld promoter for at least $1 million. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:10.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
What advice would you give somebody that you know that's window shopping?
I'd have to say Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin plays at an MVP level in the replacement game. They came in ahead of time, measured all the windows, made sure they had all of the measurements. When the Pella people left, you had no idea they had been here. You just had the new window. They're great professionals, Gina, and some of the best in the world at what they do.
Right now, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Pella's team of expert installers start with an in-home consultation and finish with no hassle or mess, leaving nothing but perfect results that stand the test of time. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, pay as low as $19 per window and $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com today.
$6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers end 9/30/2023.
The famous Fox and Hounds and Mineshaft restaurants are hiring servers, bartenders, bussers, food runners, and barbacks. It's a great part-time job for high school and college students and retirees. Make real money. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today. Start next week.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores, Highway 100 and Layton Avenue, 23rd and Lincoln. Great stores, great cause, and unbelievable bargains. You're going to love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Checking in with Debbie here at 8:11.
All right, that accident eastbound on 94 at Highway J on the left, causing problems all the way back through to Highway 16, so careful with that. Got another 19-minute ride then from the zoo into downtown on 94 eastbound. Westbound's just heavy from 27th Street through the stadium. Northbound 41 out of the zoo all the way up to about Swan Boulevard's going to be a heavy ride. And then southbound 43 from Bender Road all the way down past Capitol Drive, with the northbound side heavy out of Fond du Lac Avenue area up to Capitol. And don't forget, you can help out your fellow commuters. Report accidents and slowdowns to the Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Mazda to support their Drive Out Cancer event. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly cloudy, chance of showers today. We do have some shower activity moving into southeast Wisconsin. Much of it could be dissipating or heading south, according to Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brian Nisnansky. Might catch a sprinkle this morning. Mostly cloudy and breezy tonight with a slight chance of showers and a low down to 60. On our way to a high of 70 degrees today at 62 right now.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
8:13 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Good to have the team all back in place. Eric Bilstead, Vince Vitrano here with you till 9 o'clock. Debbie on traffic, Adam's in the newsroom, and Greg Pancake Hill produces the program. Also happy to report that Eric is back in his regular station here. If you watch us on the live stream, which you can do on our YouTube channel, you can do it on WTMJ.com. Click on the live stream on our app as well. A lot of places where you can watch HD video feed of what's going on in the studio. You'll note that earlier in the morning, Eric was in a different spot than he normally does all of his work.
Well, because the mic wasn't working, so only some things were working over here. So I moved over to a different spot and made it work.
Which was good, so we could keep the program going largely without a hit. Yeah. So all of a sudden, Eric's mic stopped working, and we had engineer was in here, Jody was in here working on it.
Scotty was in here working on it, and then
Pancake's like, do you hear me? Is this happening? So we've resolved it. Eric, what was the solution to your problem?
So the engineer, Scotty, tells me that the microphone was unplugged. So I'm not sure what I did to unplug it, but he's like, dude, did you not notice that it wasn't plugged in? Oh, sure. I do now.
That's the IT guy or the tech guy, whatever, in your office, everywhere. It's why they ask you first, did you turn it on?
The first thing, though, he says to me, he's like, are you messing with me? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, are you
No, you moved all your stuff. You were in a completely different spot.
He's like, did you do this on purpose?
That's and you said what?
I'm like, no. He totally thought I did it on purpose just to mess with him. Just to have him come in here and do that.
You know what, man? If you had done that, actually, I would have fully supported that. That's a good prank. Hey, man, I need you in here right away. The studio's not working, this thing.
Just Mike's an unplugged mic.
That's why they ask you, is it plugged in? Works a lot of the time. Long way from a done deal. Do want to get into this with you this morning. The Old National Bank talk and text line is 855-616-1620. Old National Bank, get old. Keep that number handy. We'll take your calls. We'll take your thoughts on the Old National Bank talk and text line on the American Family Field funding story. Because I didn't have, as I hosted Wisconsin's afternoon news was breaking out. I know you guys covered on the front end yesterday sort of what we thought was going to be in their proposal from the Wisconsin State Legislature. We've had time to digest it now. It's in front of us, and I'm interested in where people are at. I'm going to spend the first part of this walking you through what we know, bringing you up to speed, and then we'll take your thoughts and comments on it. Path to keeping the Brewers in Milwaukee for more than a quarter century right now. ensuring American Family Field remains a viable community asset through that time. The legislation unveiled Monday by lawmakers, it's a package of funding, $700 million all in, and it spans the next 27 years, including contributions from Milwaukee City and County taxpayers, state taxpayers, and $100 million from the Brewers organization. I spoke with Brewers President of Business Operations, Rick Schlesinger, Monday afternoon.
Rick!
I did use that when we talked to Schlesy yesterday.
Were you worried that would offend him?
No, not him. Rick knows who he's talking to over here. Right? Known him for a lot of years. He's not going to fix me. But it was the afternoon show. I just thought maybe different flavor, maybe different feel.
Yeah, it's a little bit more professional in the afternoon.
I used it. Anyway, Rick said the team, they recognize there's a lot of debate yet to be had. The bill, I'm told, will start in the Assembly. So that means it needs to pass the Assembly, goes next door in the Senate. If they make any changes, it goes back to the Senate. They have to pass 2 identical pieces of legislation out of the legislature, signature from the governor, and then buy-in from city and county. More on that in a minute, but the team is focused on the end result regardless, not who gets credit, nor the particulars of one plan over another.
I am not wedded to a specific bill or a specific piece of legislation. I'm focused on the objective, and there are many different pathways to get there. And the good news, again, is that it looks like there's bipartisan support for the objective, which is the most important thing in this process.
Well, I am completely in favor of getting some sort of deal done, and I'm kind of with Schlesinger on that. The particulars, whether it was the governor's proposal, which I kind of liked, whether it's this proposal, which I also like, whether it's something else that keeps the Brewers here for the long term, and yes, I admit, requires a great deal of taxpayer input. I support that, but taxpayers are right to be skeptical. This is a lot of money.
And how bipartisan is it?
Right.
I mean, the Senate Minority Leader, Senator Agard, released a statement yesterday that did not indicate they were on board just yet.
And what else would it take to get them on board?
Here's a part of her statement. While I'm happy to sit down in a bipartisan manner to work out the details, any plan cannot place too great of a burden on the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County.
So, yeah, let's get into that in a moment. But let me catch you up to on the Brewers ownership contribution. That's Mark Attanasio as principal owner. There are other investors as well. Are they doing enough on their end, throwing in the $100 million? Why should taxpayers and those who are concerned about it believe that that contribution from the Brewers is fair?
Because it is a significant amount of money, and all we're asking of the state is for it to fulfill its obligations made to us and the taxpayers in 1996 when the ballpark funding was approved, that our landlord has sufficient funds to meet its existing obligations to the team. We're not asking for the district to enhance their obligations. We're not looking for the team to reduce our obligations. In fact, to the contrary, we're increasing our financial contribution to the project. All we're asking for is that the landlord have enough money to meet obligations that promised us a quarter century ago.
As we always look at the Old National Bank talk and text line, again, 855-616-1620, always questions about why do taxpayers have to pay for millionaires to play in a billionaire's stadium and all of those things. These are the economics of professional sports. I think it's kind of sucky that that's how it goes, right? But this is how it goes. If you want to be a major league city, pick your sport, these stadiums, these arenas require significant public input. They just do. And the reality of it is if you don't have that, they don't stay here or they don't come here. So you can debate whether or not that's right or wrong. It is what it is. So you can debate the particulars as well. I think the harder piece, Eric, you alluded to it, is going to be, do you get buy-in from the city of Milwaukee? Do you get buy-in from Milwaukee County? I did reach out to a source in the mayor's office just to try to get a pulse of it on it. They're not sure at this point whether it will require common council approval, which adds a whole other layer of approval. What if everybody's on board, but Milwaukee Common Council can't get 8 votes across? What if everybody's on board, but Milwaukee County Board can't get a majority vote on it, and that gums it up?
Does it need that? Like if the legislative plan is put through with just providing this money through these different services, do you need to ask all the local entities as well? Like I'm not even sure if that'll be written in or not.
Inside politics on that, I think, is you're not going to get the senator from Superior or the state assemblywoman from Ladysmith to sign off on all this state taxpayer funding if City of Milwaukee, if County of Milwaukee aren't buying in, since they are the primary beneficiaries. You can make a strong argument that this is a regional asset. I believe that. But when you start talking about, and it was a non-starter from the get-go, anyone who brings up, well, we should revive the 5-county sales tax. Non-starter, nobody wants that. Not going to happen. So I think if you don't get city and county buy-in, you're not going to get the votes you need outstate in order to move this forward. One other thing I'll bring up before we start taking folks' calls and thoughts on this. Significant upgrade and investment under this particular plan. How did we go from $300 million from the governor to $700 million in this package? A couple of ways. Number one, this package extends the lease deal out to 2050.
It's further.
Right. So the governor's proposal, I think, had him through 2043. This takes it 7 more years, and basically, by all intents and purposes, the useful end of this building. Right?
Interesting, from the 262, by the year 2050, the stadium won't even be feasible anymore. Keep the money and in 10 years build a new stadium. That's more feasible.
What they want to do is upgrade the stadium to make it a year-round venue.
The winterization obviously is could be significant. It's, this is a great facility, but in the off season, it's dormant. The winterization would allow us to have events here in the winter in a comfortable, warm environment. And that could be anything from basketball games to volleyball to concerts to, monster truck shows to an NHL game to Brewers Fan Fest to, a whole range of opportunities that even we haven't thought about, but drive revenue to the Brewers, drive revenue to the state, bring in people from outside the state, outside the region to come here and spend money.
I admit, I was fine with the governor's proposal. That sounded like a good deal to me at the time. I like this better because less often that we have to have this conversation, the better.
Right.
This takes care of it. We don't have to talk about it for more than 20 years. Now, obviously, towards the end, you got about 20 years out, we have to start thinking about what is the future, and we'll have that conversation again. But do it right. In terms of winterization, that opens the opportunities, as Schlesinger indicated, for more things outside of the Brewers circle that will bring people in to enjoy this venue. I've heard rave reviews about the concerts they've had there. Generally speaking, they've been really good. People like it as a music venue. It brings business, once again, to have another big event here in the city to people all throughout the region. So I think that's all good. I like that idea. Possibility of hosting other major types of sporting events in there. Don't text about football. The dimensions don't work. Can't have football in there. Not football. You can have football. But you can't have football.
Come on, just one game.
You
find a way.
There's not enough.
They play them at Wrigley Field. Come on.
And they almost run out of space right there at that wall.
I think they kind of do.
I think literally there's not enough. I don't think there's 100 yards across, plus the end zones. But nonetheless, more events that could be there. That's Rick Schlesinger's thought on all of those questions. What say you? 855-616-1620 is the Old National Bank talk and text line. Talk to you next.
That's Rick! Your way inside the huddle. Hit 1, hit 2, without putting on any pads.
Hike.
It's Green and Gold Insiders on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
No one's going to feel sorry for you. Matt LaFleur likes to tell us that all the time. No one's going to say, oh, well, these poor guys, they have all these rookies. We're going to take it easy on them. Nobody's going to do that.
Every day of the regular season at 4:15, it's Green and Gold Insiders all season long, right here on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for our great partners at Johnson & Sons Paving. If you're going to repave your driveway, even your walkway up to your house, whether you're doing concrete or whether you're doing asphalt, it's a significant investment. You don't want to leave that to just anybody. You don't want to worry about whether or not the job's going to be done right, or if it's not done right, whether or not you're going to have the local family-owned company there to respond to your needs and make it right if there's something that you didn't like. You get all of that with Johnson & Sons Paving. They even mix their own asphalt right there in Menominee Falls that helps take care of any supply chain issues that they might have or that you might be worried about. And time to get on the docket right now. Time is running out. When you reach a certain temperature, can't do asphalt anymore. Something I learned this year, Eric.
Can't do it in the middle of winter?
I'm getting smarter.
Yeah, you are.
Well, you're not going to want to do it if you can give it a try. But they can't even make, since they mix their own right there, it's a matter of how hot you need to get that stuff and how you need that material to stay hot. So if you have an asphalt paving project that you want to get done, want to get in on that action right now, it's Johnson & Sons Paving. It's a family-owned company. Johnson's name right there. No subcontractors. Just the Johnsons and all the folks who work for them. Great company. It's one-stop shop for projects of any size, residential and commercial. That's johnsonsonspaving.com.
Where are we putting that money, and why are we putting it there? At Financial Strategies, you'll get answers to those questions to understand our approach. And the answers are going to be based on what we've learned about you. We're very engaged with our clients so that what we do for them fits their particular needs. But there are other things that we do that are equally important to the investment management portion of our services. I can't express how important it is to control the things you can control. At the end of the day, most investment managers will end up yielding similar overall returns. But knowing how to manage them wisely to avoid your nest egg being eaten away by the tax man, all legally of course, well, that's what I truly believe sets us apart. This is Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., and we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Oh, how great it would feel to have your 20-year-old knees, shoulders, hips, and back.
You know, you don't think about your pains when you're in your 20s or 30s, but you wish you could get that body back when you're in your 60s. I think QC did that for me.
For Patrick, here in Milwaukee, it started with a simple phone call to QC Kinetics.
One day I was driving and I just heard the radio and I pulled over and took the number and I called them when I got home.
Maybe that's you, and you're listening right now. Why wait? QC Kinetics Regenerative Treatments uses your body's own natural biologics to heal and restore damaged tissue without invasive surgery or harmful drugs. And as for the results,
my knees are as good as they were when I was in my 20s. I'm really happy with what happened.
For Patrick, it's like QC Kinetics turned back the clock. Now it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Debbie, what do you got at 8:27 here?
Well, we got ourselves an accident. This one is on the end of the ramp from 43 southbound to 794 eastbound. It's right in the gore there, so it's going to be affecting your ride. It's heading straight through the Marquette. We've also got the other accident in Waukesha County, right about at Highway J on the left shoulder. That's backing things up onto Highway 16, as you might imagine. Northbound 41, backing up out of the Zoo interchange all the way up to Swan Boulevard. Then it's clear. Southbound's looking pretty good. Southbound 43, not so much. We got some delays from Bender Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. Maybe a quick tap of the brakes into the Marquette. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
.828 on Wisconsin's Morning News. 855-616-1620 is the Old National Bank talk and text line. Old National Bank, get old. Would love to hear from you. What do you think of the new proposal for funding American Family Field and securing the long-term future for your Milwaukee Brewers in Milwaukee through 2050?
This text coming in, I like this proposal because of the length, and there must be things that Milwaukee and Madison taxes pay for up north sometimes. So I think you have to look at the entire state with a little bit more open mind if you live up north. We drive 90 minutes with a 10-pack to go to Brewers games, shuttle from a bar, buy gas, snacks, etc. It's part of the economy. Here's another one. $600 million in taxpayer money for checks, notes, zero equity in the team, so we can do this all over again in 2043.
Actually, well, under this case, it would be 2050.
Right, but
you start the conversation earlier.
Right. Another one here saying that, okay, so all this means is that there'll be a monster truck show once in the middle of winter. Shaking my head.
I think it's definitely going to be more than that, and I think you've seen the Brewers only increase the invitation and want, even during the baseball season, to have major concert events. They tried the Badger thing with the basketball thing. That was last fall. I think they have a definite interest in bringing more big events. It'll be more than one or two things a year.
Another texter says, put Sean Wendt on the case, and the stadium will be fully funded by Atanasio.
So I got on the phone, and I called Sean Wendt.
855-616-1620, Old National Bank talk and text line.
Ace negotiator.
Mike is with us from Burlington. Morning, Mike.
Morning. This absolutely makes my blood boil. I mean, was it 5 years ago we quit paying the tax for the stadium, and we aren't even in the Milwaukee County? And is there any guarantee that in 20 years they won't, blackmail us again to try to move somewhere else? Take the team to another city. Try to get $2 or $3 billion to build a stadium. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm so tired of us, all this corporate welfare. We're bailing out the owners again. What is he going to quadruple his money if he decides to sell the team right now? I mean,
So you're willing to give up the Brewers because that's the reality. They will leave.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Or do this. Okay, you pay your sales tax. You take your tax thing at the end of the year. You go buy a ticket. You get to take that off the ticket. They're going to make enough money on other sales while you're there, plus 2 or 3 other games you go to. I mean, you get nothing. You don't get discounts. I mean, technically you get a discount half price or something on a ticket for one game. But where's my tickets for free games for all the taxes I pay for this? And it's nothing but corporate welfare again and again and again all over this country.
Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you. Mike calling from Racine County, which was in the 5-county sales tax region. They do, on a regular basis, in terms of what do you get for folks who paid into that, a number of 5-county appreciation nights where your tickets are half price, and then also deals on certain concessions as well. I can't remember how frequently they do that, but it's at least once a month, if it's not once a week, where the Brewers do offer special deals and discounts to folks in that 5-county region.
Another texter says private businesses get hundreds of millions of dollars in grants all the time, and nobody ever seems to worry about that, even if they're not getting a direct benefit. But as soon as it comes to a professional sports, there's always all sorts of people who seem to have a very strong opinion just because they're not sports people. The point there being is that, yeah, it's not just the Brewers or the Bucks that get some type of quote-unquote welfare.
And I think of, and you can as well, all of the things that your taxpayer dollars go to fund that you don't use. Yeah, I'm a golfer. A lot of people don't golf, but we have taxpayer input in Milwaukee County, Washington County. I think every county, not every county, but most counties are in to some degree in the golf business. They put that on. Now, in the case of Milwaukee County, that's a revenue generator. So that's good. They put this on, and it's an investment. But there are quality of life investments in the parks. The parks are a net revenue drain on the county, but the county invests in the parks because it's something that people like to do. They feel that it elevates the county, makes it a more livable
quality
place.
Of life,
quality
which
of
is
life.
very important. Yep.
So, right, and those are taxpayer dollars invested.
From the 414, how is this any different than creating a TIF district and giving money to multi-million-dollar developers?
It happens all the time. Pick your project, right? Skyscrapers going up, that's TIF district. We're going to knock off a whole bunch in taxes. We'll give you all these tax breaks that you otherwise would have had to pay in order for you to make what you say is a viable profit and then go ahead and put the building up. And I have no problem with people debating that either. A lot of folks, I think you have to do that on a case-by-case basis. You have to look at that. If there's some developer who is into the local municipality for a big old tax break, you have to look at that piece of property and say, would this project go up otherwise were it not for this taxpayer-funded investment? If the answer is no, that tends to be a good investment in my mind. If the answer is yes, no, we can find somebody to buy this piece of land and actually do it on their own. Right. Then you have to be better business people in local government. 8:33 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzek telling you about the ultimate hangout for hounds and humans. It's the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls. It's a state-of-the-art facility providing doggy daycare, boarding, and professional grooming services all on site. Hang out with your dog or without and enjoy time at their indoor-outdoor tavern connected to the dog park. Fun, happy, clean, and safe. They even have trained handlers on site at all times. Visit thehoundsandtap.com for more details. That's thehoundsandtap.com.
AccuRite Tax and Financial Services has Toshiba copiers and network printers from James Imaging Systems. President CEO Jason Rose.
We have 17 different tax preparers on staff, and we have 4 printers running pretty much nonstop. And during tax season, it's absolutely crazy.
And Jason, those printers from James Imaging Systems have to work just as hard and reliably as your people do.
Oh yeah, yes. Something comes up that's an issue, we have somebody that we can call that can help us resolve the issue very quickly and efficiently.
Reliable printing, reliable service. That's a good thing.
That is a good thing. That helps tremendously keep us being productive, keeps those tax returns going.
Jason, bottom line for your practice?
Happy clients, happy workers, happy me.
Don't worry, be happy with document imaging technology and extraordinary local support from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's 68th anniversary, and we're celebrating in a big way with exciting new and innovative products throughout the store at unbeatable anniversary prices. Like new Stanley H2.0 drinkware, 20% off. 5-gallon buckets of Mobile Delvac 1300 diesel oil, $76.99 after sale and $10 mail-in rebate. And save $60 on a 243-piece Craftsman Mechanics tool set. Come celebrate and save during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's 68th anniversary sale going on now.
The famous Fox and Hounds and Mineshaft restaurants are hiring servers, bartenders, bussers, food runners, and barbacks. It's a great part-time job for high school and college students and retirees. Make real money. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today. Start next week.
8:36. I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Tuesday, September 19th. Your top story, the mayor proposing a budget not centered around cuts. Could happen.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. An accident 94 eastbound at Highway J in Waukesha County still being worked on. Still seeing some pretty nasty delays coming in from Highway 16, so be prepared for that. Otherwise, going to be slow from 84th Street through the Stadium interchange to about 27th Street. Southbound on 43 still heavy from Bender Road all the way down to about Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Scattered showers moving into southeast Wisconsin this morning in your storm team forecast. That chance continuing into the afternoon, a high of 70. Mostly cloudy and breezy overnight, a low dropping around 60. Right now, scattered showers and 65 degrees in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the 2024 Milwaukee City budget will reportedly avoid service cuts for the first time in years. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson proposing his $1.92 billion budget for the city today. Local officials saying a new cash flow coming from an updated shared revenue plan, the implementation of a sales tax, and remaining federal pandemic aid will make the 2024 budget more flexible than those in years to come. The Common Council is scheduled to debate the budget and could adopt it in November. And also at that Common Council meeting where the mayor will speak today, a beloved Milwaukee mailman will be honored as his 30-year career serving the city's River West neighborhood comes to an end. Mailman Mike, also known as Michael Booth, will be retiring from his route on Saturday. He tells TMJ4 News he hopes his efforts and positivity rub off on children in the community.
The children I watch, man, a lot of the children think I'm cool. So when you're cool, you know, they try to emulate what you do. So it's very important that I send a proper example. They're not my biological children, but they're all my children. That's the way I was raised from the community.
Booth will be honored by the Common Council this morning and will also have a celebration in his honor planned at the River West Farmers Market on Sunday. And today is National Voter Registration Day, and the Racine City Clerk's Office is already looking ahead to next year.
So our next election is in February, so we have a little bit of time. Certainly, we've been trying to spread the word everywhere we can.
Racine City Clerk Tara McMenamin tells WTMJ that may be the next election, but it's not the big one. That is in November.
We anticipate people from both sides of the aisle and all those in between to be coming out to the polls. You can save yourself time by making sure your registration is up to date.
You can check your voter registration status by going to myvote.wi.gov. Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
News about your money this morning, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Stocks on the major indices opening slightly lower today as investors are bracing for the Federal Reserve's two-day policy meeting concluding tomorrow. That will have a decision on interest rates. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down 59 points this morning to 34,565. S&P 500 down 9 to 4,445. And the Nasdaq Composite down 47 points this morning to 13,663. It's time for the Annex Wealth Management Tax Smart Planning Review. They'll review, assess, and provide strategies you can use. Go to annexwealth.com/taxsmart. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 8:39.
Coming up, Elon Musk says maybe everybody should pay for this.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
There's a reason why we install Armstrong Air Pro Series systems. When your reputation is on the line, you pick the brand you can trust. It's like our employees. You pick the best to preserve your good name. A guy like me that's been working on furnaces and AC systems for over half my life. I got an eye for the good stuff. And Armstrong Air Pro Series systems fit the bill. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. When you need a good crew installing a system you can rely on, see the man in the red van.
Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
Emergency service 24/7. Quality Heating has 25 trucks ready to work around the clock to get out there quickly to solve your heating or AC problem. So when that system goes on the fritz and you want to avoid that sweaty summer heat, or bypass the fear of frozen feet, the man in the red van can't be beat when it comes to prompt, reliable service. Call Quality Heating for any emergency HVAC need.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to adventknows.com.
Who makes insurance simple? That's easy. Delta Dental of Wisconsin. So if you ask, what company encourages you to use your benefits for regular preventive care? Or who provides quick service online or by phone? Which insurance offers access to the largest provider networks? Or who helps you save money when you need more than a checkup? The answer's the same. Definitely Delta Dental. For dental and vision insurance made simple, choose Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision today.
Trees on the Move, offering ideas for outdoor living and beautifying yards with landscape design and installation, including retaining walls, paver patios, tree trimming, and more. Trees on the Move has been offering landscape services for over 43 years and now offers stamped and colored concrete drives, patios, and sidewalks. Learn more at treesonthemove.com.
Planning to planting, Trees on the Move.
8:41 of Wisconsin's Morning News. Lots more to get to before we hit 9 o'clock, but I do want to cover this question that came in on the Old National Bank talk and text line regarding stadium funding at American Family Field. Can anybody answer the question of when special events occur at American Family Field? Does the stadium district get part of the income from those events, or does it all go to the Brewers? Short answer is none of the profits on the Brewers' end go back to the stadium district. This is part of the gravy, and one of the reasons that the Brewers like to see improvements at the ballpark and the ability to have these special events is that when there are profits, they can take that and reinvest in the team. One of the reasons that we made the argument in the mid-'90s about we need to move on from County Stadium. We need a stadium that can generate revenue so that we can make the money, so that we can pour more money into the ball club, so we can bring on better players, so we can get that World Series. If you want us to be competitive, we have to have these revenue streams so that we can invest in the ball club. People can debate whether or not principal owner Mark Attanasio does a good enough job of that. You know, whether or not the payroll that he sets is enough. You can debate that. But one of the arguments for having a Cadillac facility like this is so the Brewers can make money off of that facility and invest in good players and in good managers and good staff. One thing how that breaks down, and I have this directly from the Brewers. So they don't get any percentage of the gate. So they make no money off of ticket sales. Nope. Pink takes that, and the promoters and however else they divide that up. So what the Brewers get out of special events revenue is concessions and parking. Now, it's. I initially thought, like, geez, is that even worth it then? Because that's a lot of work to put on a show like that.
A lot of parking spaces.
Start breaking it down. Do the math. 11,000 parking stalls at, well, it's a minimum $20 for a concert, right?
With some of those preferred parking spots, probably even more than
right.
that.
So let's take it on the conservative end. 20 times 11,000 is somewhere in the neighborhood of $250,000 on parking alone. Then you add in concessions. So, you know, let's say you're taking in $300,000 or whatever. You do that 4 or 5 times a year, you're over $1 million. So that's not nothing. It's $1 million more that go, hopefully, to be reinvested in the organization. But thought it was important to answer that question. And wherever I can find factual information for you, I'll do that. Happy to answer your questions on that so you can make an informed opinion as to what should happen here.
Speaking of paying for things,
there is some chance that above zero that AI will kill us all.
X-Watch. It's not called Twitter anymore.
That's
it's called
one of the
X.
great quotes of all time. It just happened. Some chance above zero that AI will kill us all.
Right.
But anyway, shoulder shrug.
So this has to do with what used to be called Twitter. Now it's X. Elon Musk says that a small monthly service fee for using X is likely.
Whoa.
So that means everybody. If you're going to use this, what's supposed to be this groundbreaking new social media app, you're going to have to pay for it. At least that's what he said to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, why would he randomly say that to the Prime Minister of Israel? Well, because Netanyahu's in town, spoke to Musk and said, hey, what are you doing about all the anti-Semitism, all the hate speech
to
that
root
is
that out
circulating? Yeah, what
on
are
your
you
platform
doing to stop that? And Musk basically said the only way to prevent armies of bots, which is what we've seen, is to amplify the idea of paid user. So you need to pay monthly to use the site at all costs, not just a premium, everybody. At least that's what he says would be the only way to get rid of the armies of bots. So it is, I don't know, likely maybe too strong of a word, but it's anticipated that this could happen at some point in the near future, that everyone would have to pay.
So a couple of things on that. Is there another social platform that you pay to use? Facebook's free, Instagram free, TikTok free, Snapchat free.
I mean, there are some.
So this would change the equation. There's none prominent that I can think of.
So then it would become more like maybe like a streaming service in a way.
Right.
Because they all have offered in the past things to watch on Twitter.
Would the others follow suit? There's that open question is, say he charges $5 a month or whatever it is. What did he want to charge for Twitter Blue? 10?
It wasn't a lot.
It wasn't
but still
a lot.
A decent amount of money.
$10 more, right? So over $100 a year. So it'd be interesting to see if others follow suit.
I mean, what's intriguing is the idea of getting rid of bots. I mean, they're everywhere. And it gets old. I mean, I've seen people argue with them. I'm like, dude, you're arguing with a
That's not a real
thing.
person. Other thing is, it changes the equation because, as I often say, if you're using something for free, you're not the customer.
Right.
So who's the customer on Twitter? The advertiser, right? They're the customer that needs to be kept
And
happy.
by the way, they're losing a lot of revenue right now on X.
So if you're now paying in, now you become at least part of that customer equation. Does Twitter then have to be more responsive to what users whine about or complain about or like or dislike?
Now Twitter. X.
So.
There's some chance that it's above zero that AI will kill us all.
This report is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
We want to decrease your pain as fast as possible. When we inject our powerful, FDA-approved anti-inflammatory and cushioning medicine precisely guided to the root of your pain, in most cases, relief in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees is a reality. For those who go through our entire process, we can very much control and reduce your pain while increasing your quality of life. Thousands of Rejuvenix patients maintain their pain relief with semi-annual to annual treatments, proven to reduce inflammation, to make pain a lot more bearable. Some providers may charge up to $8,000 for similar treatments. At Rejuvenix, because we're in network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid, your out-of-pocket expense could be as low as $400 or less, or nothing at all. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenix Arthritis Pain Clinics, where you can find pain relief. Really.
Rejuvenix. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Adrian was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
Back to school time is here, and Griffin's Back to School Service Special is here to help. For only $129.95, we'll change your oil, inspect and rotate your tires, check the battery and air filter, and give it a complete multi-point inspection. Plus, we'll make sure your AC is running smoothly and replace your wiper blades. Griffin, making car maintenance easy. Visit one of Griffin's 5 dealerships today.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
Traffic is sponsored by Weniger Compressor, ready to service any facility at pressureisoff.biz. Servicing world-class Wisconsin manufacturers for 9 decades. Contact Weniger Compressor at pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor.
One more time before 9 o'clock, Debbie.
All right, well, we got some backups and a little bit of good news. 94 eastbound, that Highway J accident in Waukesha County has been cleared, so that's good news. We do have another accident, though, on the end of the ramp from 43 southbound to 794 eastbound. It's right in the gore, kind of in a weird spot, so just be extra careful heading through there. Delays are pretty much standard from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive to about Locust. Northbound side slow from Locust up to Keith. Northbound 41, we have a broken down vehicle on the left at Watertown Plank Road, and that's going to be slowing things down out of the Zoo interchange to that point. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
10 minutes before 9 o'clock, a couple of things to get to here. The United Nations General Assembly in New York City. Leaders from all over the world, well, many of them, although some notable absences, meeting in New York this week. You've got President Biden is expected today, right, when he addresses the General Assembly?
Yes, world leaders gathering in New York for the UN General Assembly. The president is expected to address the General Assembly, as is the Ukrainian president.
The annual meeting of the UN General Assembly begins with President Biden and Ukraine's president set to take the podium at a troubled time in the world as it faces the highest number of violent conflicts since 1945, beset by the consequences of Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine and the related spike in food prices.
But is the UN losing some of its relevancy because there are several world leaders who aren't showing up this year? Russian President Vladimir Putin, which, no shocker, he's not coming.
He can't go anywhere because he might get arrested for war crimes.
China President Xi Jinping also sitting out, but again, no shocker there. They weren't there last year. But so are France's President Emmanuel Macron, the British Prime Minister, and India's Prime Minister, none of them going.
What's Macron got going?
So Macron was there last year. Here,
what, no good?
I'm a little surprised at what his scheduling conflict is.
Okay, I can't be there on account of?
Well, we got to host Britain's King Charles. King Charles has to come to Paris this week, so we're going to do that instead.
Couldn't do that next week? Week before?
I'm probably ignorant, but how busy is King Charles? Does he really have that much on his plate?
As busy as he wants to be.
All the time?
Right, exactly. That one doesn't make sense to me.
So analysts say that world leaders skipping the UN risks weakening the institution when it's already struggling to remain relevant. I mean, you have a lot of different conflicts. Africa's dealing with a lot of different military.
Putin's not going to be there from Russia, but there will be a representative from Russia. I can't remember if it's the UN ambassador who is there or who will stand in for Putin in that Security Council meeting, but they'll be in the same room together.
The Security Council, which was designed to be a major force in maintaining peace and stability, has been notably absent in efforts to resolve issues, paralyzed by divisions among its veto-holding members.
Right, that's the problem, is the Security Council is split. Eesh. So this was supposed to be, we're the most powerful nations on earth. Can we get together and
mediate,
figure all this
figure it out and help?
But you got Putin and Xi on one side and everybody else on the other, and they're at odds with one another.
So do they talk about other things though at the water cooler?
Where'd you eat last night? Yeah, did you have dinner?
Where'd you go?
Did you? Oh yeah,
you went to the Bronx. Oh,
we had a reservation there, but no, my buddy said he didn't like that.
And this is right after they were just screaming at each other.
Yes, I think though if there are no cameras in there, maybe less posturing.
Oh,
I'm worrying about whatever. And
by the way, that's Washington all the time.
That's true. You would hope that they could behind a closed door get down to it.
I better pound a table with camera on me.
8:54, Wisconsin's Morning News.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. At Creative Planning, we custom tailor your portfolio to help you achieve your ideal financial future. You'll see how our wealth managers work with in-house CPAs and attorneys to ensure your money is working as hard as it can for you. Why not give your wealth a second look? Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Vince Vitrano here for LAK Group. Your company feeling a little bit out of sync? Or how about you? Where are you on your career path? Do you need a little bit more direction? Are you searching for that next job, for that next career, for that next step because you're just not fulfilled in what you're doing? These are the folks you want to talk to. Mike Grubich, Mike Milstead, friends of mine. They're the partners at LAK Group. I talk to them all the time. In fact, talk to them about making my career change. Sometimes maybe it's not a career change that you need. Maybe it's a different perspective on where you're already working, how to make sure that you are more productive and that your work in its current form is more fulfilling. They can help you through that. If you're a company, how do you get your folks to step up and be better leaders? How do you lead that company culture and really get everybody to buy in? Either side of the equation, LAK Group, a couple of guys and a group of entire staff that can help you with that. Visit transformingcareers.com to find out more about how LAK Group can help you or your company. That's LAK Group. Discover your human advantage.
There's a race going on inside your body, and sometimes the bad guys, otherwise known as